Trying to get Cricket Club to give us something here though. Welcome to beautiful Rydell, Florida. Rydell, Georgia, rather, where it's a beautiful 68 degrees. I'm here with Lenny Archibald, and we're on field number 2, where Masters Cricket Club have won the toss and elected to bat against Atlanta Force. And here's the very first delivery, and it's going to be a valuable dot ball. Lenny, Group A action, third day in this Atlanta Open. We're expecting an exciting last couple of days to unfold in this incredible tournament. Masters Cricket Club have got off on the front foot. Their first 2 matches, 2 wins, so too Atlanta Force. But Masters Cricket Club, there seems to be a bit of a trend. They've won the toss in their first 2 matches. They've set the total, and here they are in innings number 3, match number 3, doing the exact same thing.
Yes, Ryan. And welcome all our viewers. Want to say good morning from Rydell. As Ryan would have mentioned, important games for both of these teams. Top of the table clash. Masters have done well, 2 wins in 2 matches, and the boys from the Atlanta Force have done similar. So we're down to the last set of rounds of games, and we'll see how this one works out. The man on your screen here is Danish Patel, and he's faced 3 dot balls so far. Mohit Puri is the bowler.
I'll tell you what, Puri's doing the job early. Those 3 dot balls are all going to build up and add up towards something at the end of 20 overs. But let's talk a little bit about Danish Patel. Had 29 off of 22 on day number 1 against the Carolina Smashers. Didn't do so well yesterday against the Falcons, but is looking to anchor the innings like he did in day number 1. And this could be the first boundary over third man, and it's 4 runs. So Patel is away, and so too the Master Club. First runs of the board come from a boundary.
Yeah, lovely shot from Danish Patel, very attacking player. And Ryan, sort of a gift, short outside the off stump in these earlier part. And he quickly latched onto that one. We'll try to get you some more replays, and of course Cricket Clubs is almost there, so to all our viewers, just be patient with us. It's 4 for no loss. We're in the first over. Mohit Puri is the bowler, and we've seen a lovely shot from Danish Patel.
So like Lenny mentioned, Puri first 3 deliveries were dot balls, and then just 1 loose one which Patel took advantage of. So Danish Patel facing Puri on the front foot, driven through extra cover, got a piece of it that would stop the boundary, and the batters will come back for a second.
Yeah, not a lovely shot from Danish Patel, just getting onto the front foot quite early, easing the drive into the offside, very fast outfield, and once you pierce the gap here, Ryan, you're going to pick up some runs.
Beautiful ground in Paramveers in Rydell, Georgia. Impressive facility, 6 fields operating today. We're on field number 2, the lucky ones, Group A. Masters Club versus as Khan is going back to the side screen. Maybe he's going to do a Michael Holding run up with some extra pace.
Yes, yes, Ryan. Don't see bowlers running in from far like that anymore.
Not in T20 cricket.
I remember seeing my first test match in Guyana. Jeff Thompson ran all the way from there.
And slung one in, huh?
Australia versus the West Indies.
Khan, Darbar, down the leg side, and it's at the third wide of the inning. You can see the captain for this Atlanta team just getting a little shifty as his opening bowler can't seem to get the ball and hit his straps.
Yes, Ryan, he's gone down the leg side. We've seen 3 wides in this over so far, so certainly not good. They're 19 for no loss in just the second over. And things have gone pretty well for them. Darbar is on 6, as you can see there. Well, we got our score up now.
Well, welcome, Cricket Clubs. And here's Darbar. Cuts away. It's going to be high in the air. Third man's coming across. He's not going to get there. And it's going to be another 6. Darbar hit a 6 back overhead early on in the over. And now a slash over outside the off stump. And it's gone for 6.
Yeah, another lovely shot from Rajdeep Darbar. He's a man in form, man with a lot of confidence, Ryan, when you come off 100. And he has started off well. He's up to 12 with 2 big scoring shots, 6 each. And they've gone up to 25 for no loss. So very impressive so far from Rajdeep Darbar.
Well, 112 off of 50 deliveries on day number 1. He's now 12 off of 3. Everybody buckle in. Here comes Khan. Good delivery by Khan. If he can bowl 5 of those, his captain will be impressed. Batter's come back for 1.
Yeah, we've seen an over that has gone for 16 so far from Nazik Khan. It's a very young Atlanta Force team. They've done well in the tournament. They've taken out Smashers. They've taken out Falcons. And here they are running into probably one of the better teams of this Group A matchup. And Masters have done exceedingly well. A lot of batting here. Danish Patel and Darbar out in the middle. Bhaskar Yadram to come. Suprit Madan, who's played at the top level. So still so much batting to come, and this is an important fixture between these two teams.
Well, just to add to some context to that, their first 2 innings, 253 for 5 versus Carolina Smashers, and then on day number 2, 180 for 6. And Darbar well on his way to set another big total for Master Club. Khan. Batter's thinking about 2, and he's sent back by Patel.
Yes, 17 runs in this over. Danish Patel picks up a single, and Ryan, one of the things you'll look with Danish Patel, he loves going extra cover, straight down, mid-on. He loves that area. When you look at Darbar, contrasting style, because I guess because he's a shorter guy, he loves the square area. And I'm not surprised that one of those uppercut shots would be in the square area. They very contrasting style. 27 for none.
Khan, Darbar. This one's cut away past point, and he's not going to run those. Not a man move. 4 more goes to Darbar, and at the end of a very, very long over, 21 off of it. It is 31 without loss after merely 2, Lenny. This is Puri, right?
Yep.
Welcome back to beautiful Rydell, Georgia. Day number 3, Atlanta Open. Master Club winning the toss, electing to bat first yet again in their 3rd consecutive match. And it's going to be Atlanta with Puri bowling his first delivery of his 2nd over. And this is driven right back past him for 4. A beautiful cricket shot by Patel. And Lenny, we've learned to expect that from the man they call Patel.
Yeah, Danish Patel, I told you he loved mid-off, mid-on. in the earlies and look at a wonderful straight drive. We'll try to get our replays going, but it's a lovely, delightful one to watch.
Tell you what, my cricket coach, under 14 cricket coach, wants us to live in the V, as they would say. And Danish Patel has found a home there. Right back past Puri to get a beautiful straight drive for 4. 35 without loss.
Yeah, they're off to a quick start. We saw an over from Nazik Khan that went for 21. We've seen a couple of big strikes off the bat of Darbar. And a classic straight drive from Danish Patel. They're off to a flyer. And they're up to 35 for no loss. Mohit Puri will continue.
So Patel, 15 off of 8. This one is back. They still get a single. And Lenny, how important is it even to get a single off of the good deliveries?
Yes, Ryan. And we saw not too long ago the lovely drive straight down the ground from Danish Patel. And in these days of T20 cricket, when bowlers are getting it right, they want to concentrate on middle and off on you, try to probably work you around, not to give you any short options. The straight drives really come into play as Darbar on to strike.
Darbar whips it off the pads and it's in between mid-wicket and mid-on. And that's another boundary to Darbar. He races on to 20 and his score moves to 40.
That's a lovely on-driver game from Rajdeep Darbar. And they're going to relish the opportunities to play on a very fast outfield in the New Jersey area. They're hard to come by and they would relish the opportunity that they'll get fair value for all the shots that they've played so far.
Puri, Darbar, he pulls. Doesn't get all of it, but it might be enough to get to the boundary. Fielders out there. Square leg has a long run. He gets there and they come back for 2. So 2 more to the total. Not a boundary, but Darbar continues to score. Whether it's onside, offside, Lenny, he can't be stopped.
Yeah, good looking shot again. A little too short from Mohit Puri. And now he has gone for 11 in this over. So couple of expensive ones. We saw from Nazik Khan. He went for 21. And so far, with 4 balls into this over, he's gone. He's conceded 11. They're off to a flyer. It's 42 for none.
Puri at the top of his mark to Darbar. Darbar swings for the hills. Doesn't get any of it. But a dot ball for Puri. And with this sort of flyer, Lenny, I think the captain may have to do a lot of convincing to bring another bowler on. If I'm a bowler out there, I don't want to take my mark and start bowling to these guys. 42 without loss, and we're still just in the 3rd over.
Yes, Ryan, you're right about that. It's a young team, the Atlanta Force.
So it's high in there, over mid-off, and over the side screen. Well, we're going to have to ask for another ball as Darbar sends this one into the woods.
Yeah, big strike again from Rajdeep Darbar. His third 6 of the innings so far. And he's gone quickly up to 29. It's 48 at the end of 3.
Wow. So 48, like Lenny just said, and Puri is having a discussion with his captain. How do they stop this or stem this flow of runs? As Master Club is in full flow, 48 without loss after merely 4 overs. So the first delivery of the fifth over rather, has just been lift over extra cover for 6. And that's the 50 for Master Clubs. It comes off the bat of Dinesh Patel. An effortless shot over extra cover, and it was the first delivery by Karnik. And looks more like carnage rather than Karnik. So 54 without loss. And Lenny, we discussed about the captain having to convince another bowler to come and bowl, and Karnik is going for his second delivery. Again, high in the air. This one is over extra cover again, and it's a 6. 2 in succession in the same vicinity. And Dinesh Patel is wasting no time.
Yeah, a couple of big shots into the offside, up and over by a long way, and a couple of 6s to Dinesh Patel. And the boys from Masters, they've gone quickly up to 60 for no loss. They're going at almost 18 runs and over.
So we see how Patel, how strong he is in the V. Do you just attempt to drop one a little bit shorter, let him score square of the wicket?
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough for Kartik. He's been given the ball in the 4th over. We saw when Nasir Khan bowl on an over before, he conceded some 21 runs. So it's been really tough here. And he started with a couple of 6s, not a good start.
Karnik, 12 off of 2. Patel, this one it's going to be a wide delivery. I guess that's one way not to get scored off the bat. But another run to the total, 61 without loss. Karnik, left arm over to Patel. This one's high in the air. Fielder's under it. And he's out. Patel goes to the well one too often. Tries to go over extra cover again and is caught as cover came across. And Karnik gets revenge. He gets the first wicket. It's 61 for 1.
Yeah, in the air, well judged catch by the fielder. Had to wait a long time. He went very high. And in the end, he held on. And that's the end of Dinesh Patel. He falls for 28. And it's 1 down for 61.
28 off of a mere 11 deliveries for Patel. Yes, he got caught, but what a start for Master Club. So Patel leaves at 28. Couldn't eclipse his best score of the tournament, which was 29 on day number 1. So the new batter coming in is Jonathan. We'll get his full name in just a couple of minutes. But he's joining Rajdeep Darbar. Jonathan Carter, current West Indian cricketer. So as Dinesh Patel departs for 28 off of 11, we have an international cricketer coming in. So it doesn't get any easier for Atlanta Force.
Yeah, they'll be quite delighted that they've picked up one nonetheless. And so Jonathan Carter out of Barbados comes to the middle with, they're off to a flying start, going at almost 17 runs and over. Can I have a look at this one?
So Karnik to Carter, a left-hander. He just works this one to the onside, an easy single to get off the mark, and Karnik is not happy with himself. He was a new batter, he wanted him locked down on that end, gather some dot balls. So Karnik continues to come left arm over the wicket to the right-hander as well. To Darbar. This one's flighted and driven down the ground. Mid-off comes across, and it's well fielded, just 1.
Yeah, good comeback in this over. We've seen an over from Karnik Patel. A couple of balls in the first 2 balls of the over went for 6 and 6. But he's come back, picked up the wicket of Dinesh Patel. He's bowling to Jonathan Carter. And so that will give him some bit of reprieve here. 15 off the over still.
Karnik to the left-handed Carter, And that'll be the end of the 5th over. Still carnage from Carnick's over. 2 sixes, 2 singles, 14 and a wide. So just 14 off of that over. No, 1 wide. 15 off of that over. 63 for 1 after 5. So a change of bowling. This is the last over of the power play. Armian Tumaya, right-handed spinner, coming in to bowl to Darbar. And this one is high in the air and it drops short. It's one long single to long on. Sorry?
So bowling change, Aryan Tomala has been given the ball, and Ryan, he comes in here having used the 4th bowler still in the power play. And Rajdeep Darbar has really gone aggressively well. Jonathan Carter has just come to the middle, and they're off to a flyer 64 for 1 in the 5th over.
You can understand the change of bowling, just trying to stem the flow of runs. 64, like you mentioned, Lenny. That is a lot of runs to give up in the opening overs. Tamala, and this one is driven again to long off. This is what these spinners can do, Lenny, slow things down.
Yeah, Ryan, I made mention it's a young team, Atlanta Force, but they have done well. You get the feeling that they've really performed well, perhaps beyond expectations so far. And they come up against one of the big teams. Masters have always been one of the top clubs that has been part of franchise tournament.
Darbar pulls and it beats over square leg, and it's going to be 4 runs. So another boundary from the little man. But Darbar scoots to 35 off of 12. And he is setting the tone.
Yeah, another lovely shot. A bit of a drag down from the off spinner. And Rajdeep Darbar, in the form that he has been in this series, he's not going to allow those balls to really go away. And this man could be on for another big score here today.
Well, after the 112 off of 50 on day 1, on day 2, 44 off of 24. So still played a major part in the 180 that they scored yesterday, Masters Club. And now he's well into the 30s at 35. This one is pulled again over the short square leg, and 1 bounce into the 10th for another boundary.
Yeah, the off spinner is bowling a little too short. If you're allowing the batter to really come and settle in, Ryan, and really pull you all the way backward of square, then you're bowling a little too slow and short. You've got to allow, as an off spinner, you've got to bring him on the front foot, allow him to drive. It's better off he hit you over cover for 6 or 4, but it's a better option.
Tamala. This was a cross-batted shot. Almost like something you would see from Djokovic in a US Open, much less than Darbar in Atlanta Open.
And Darbar, one of 2 centurions in the tournament so far. We saw Sai Gajela would have gotten 100. And I think he comes out at 22 yards. DMV, I stand corrected on that. I'm just going off memory that I picked up the last couple of days.
Tumala, and Darbar comes down the ground, lifts this one over mid-off. There's only a long on, not a long off, and he measured it to perfection, Lenny.
That's a lovely shot from Darbar. We made mention that the spinner need to allow the batter to come on the front foot, but look, Darbar came, got to the pitch of the bat, danced into it, and a lovely shot over the infield. That's very good batting from Darbar.
Talk about a man in form. 43 off of 15 now, and he's picking his spots. So the end of the power play, 77 for 1. Atlanta Force are doing whatever they could to try and slow the flow of runs, but to no avail.
Yeah, Ryan, they're going at almost 15 runs and over. We've seen a fine start from Rajdeep Darbar. You made mention that he got a 44 in the second game, got 100 in the first. He's up to 43 undefeated now.
So we saw him with a fantastic opening stand with Dinesh Patel. Patel departed from 28 off of just 11 deliveries, so the damage was already done. And now Jonathan Carter, the Bajan.
Yeah, John.
So here's Karnik, the left-arm spinner, to the left-handed Carter. To give everyone an idea, long on. Carter drives. So we're in the 7th over, but only 2 fielders outside of the circle. Sorry, the 6th over rather. And Carter swings for the hills as an appeal for a stumping. So the last over of the power play, Carter trying to get a move on. And Karnik, who got a wicket of Patel in his first over, now his second, is trying to get some sort of momentum from the new batter in Carter.
So umpire Brian Keane at square leg. I'll tell you about Brian Keane, Ryan. Interesting story that Brian Keane is a full American who has really picked up cricket, and he's an umpire, and he's umpire at top level, at minor league level. Would have done some international friendlies already under his belt, so he's done well for himself for someone that has not grown up in the environment of anything cricket. Comes from Philadelphia, one of the rural villages in Philadelphia, and has really done well for himself. He usually carries a harness with a camera recorder when he does some games. Watch for that during the course of this series. I saw him just
Now I'm excited. Now I have to see this.
Past few days.
Sweep, a slog sweep, and it works to perfection. Darbar gets another boundary, taking advantage of the power play. So another 4. And the powerful yet diminutive Darbar continues to race on. He moves to 47 off of 16, getting closer to that 50.
Yeah, another lovely shot from Rajdeep Darbar. He has gone quite explosive. Things have really worked out for him, and he's approaching another half century. We saw him getting a three-figure mark the other day.
This one is pitched up and high in the air, and that's going to be another maximum. And it's in the other field. It's in field 1. So we have to stop playing field 1 to gather the ball from field 2.
So 50 for Rajdeep Darbar, and he goes up to 53 in just about 18 balls. And so far, he's really taking the bowling to task. 4 6s and 6 4s, and Rajdeep Darbar, he's on his way for another big score. 50 for him.
So Lenny and I are a little bit biased, but if you're on field 1 watching the coverage, you need to switch over to field 2 to see the onslaught of Darbar, who is one of the most impressive batters so far in this tournament. Karnik drops short and is driven off the back foot. And he can play just about any shot right now, Lenny.
Yeah, Ryan, so the power play session comes to an end. 6 gone, it's 88 for 1.
Welcome back to Rydell, Georgia, where right now it's 72 degrees. Eat your heart out, Cricket World Cup. The action here is in Atlanta Open, as Tamala will bowl his second over, the 7th over of the innings. And yes, do not adjust your screen. It is 88 runs on the board, mostly off of the bat of Rajdeep Darbar, who's 53 off of a mere 18 deliveries. And the left-handed Carter faces Tamala. Sweep, delicate sweep. Deep square leg is running around and he's not going to get there. And the most delicate of shots brings up the same amount of runs. A boundary off of the bat of Carter and he's away, 92 for 1.
I love the shot again from Jonathan Carter. He's played at the highest level. And he's come out here with Rajdeep Darbar, who's seemingly on set on another big score, but Carter using some finesse on that shot, allowing the ball to just continue going down the leg side. And that's 4 runs.
Tamala, another sweep. This time there's a short final. Now has fallen in love like most of us do, Lenny. So they're jumping on board of the train, the cricket train.
Kane, as we made mention of, and that square leg, or the man down there, he comes out of Rhode Island, Saravana Kumar. Not only the cricketers, Ryan, have made their trip to Atlanta, but the umpires have traveled from far and wide.
This one is driven by Carter. Protection for Tamala, and like you mentioned, Lenny, as a spinner, want to get these guys on the front foot.
Yeah, we've seen a very good over from Aryan Tamala. He's only given up 7 with a couple of balls remaining. All other bowlers have gone for 13 and 14 and over, so he's really stemmed the flow of runs. But still a couple of balls, and Rajdeep Darbar on strike, you never know what can happen.
Tamala, this one is a slog sweep again. Protection for this off spinner.
So not a bad over here from Aryan Tamala. He's given up 8, one of the best over we've seen so far. And we've seen the likes of Mohit Puri, we saw Nazik Khan, we saw Karnik Patel.
And Lenny, I believe that was a dot ball. So a dot ball just at the right time. And that is the end of 9 overs. 96 for 1. We'll be back. So change of bowling. Rishi Pandey bowling to Darbar, the late cut. They go for 1. It's going to be quick. But Carter gets there. The backing up was impeccable.
So another bowler being used. And we come down to a game that has 77 balls. They're up to a quick start, 97 for 1. They lost Danish Patel, but not after when Darbar and him would have posted 61. Danish fell for 28 off just 11 balls. And so far we have seen former West Indies player Jonathan Carter. Man comes out of Barbados. And with 77 balls remaining, they're going at 13.5 and over.
Pandey, Carter's backing across and just works it to that mid-wicket section. And we talk about protection, bowling to your field. This man, Rishi Pandey, one of the most impressive bowlers so far in this tournament. And the spinners seem to have not slowed things down, Lenny, but at least curved the worm, as they would say.
Yeah, a couple of runs in this over. We saw the previous one from Aryan Tomala was quite good. Cut into the offside, can't score. They're approaching 100, Ryan.
98 for one, but the little leg spinner, Pan Davis having a save of his own. 2 singles and a dot ball. Darbar sweeps, protection in between mid-on and mid-wicket.
Yeah, saw the arm ball there from Rishi Pandey. And so they're up to 99. Jonathan Carter and Rajdeep Darbar, they have posted 38 so far. So this is another big partnership.
Exactly what you want after that fantastic opening partnership between Patel and Darbar. Carter comes right back in and allows Darbar to go back to work. Carter just whips it around. Again, Carter just seems to be comfortable keeping his score ticking over, and that'll be the 100 up for Masters Cricket Club off the bat of Jonathan Carter, but most of the damage has been done by Rajdeep Darbar.
Yes, Ryan, you're right on that. Almost more than half the runs. He's up on 57, and the 100 comes in 1 ball shy of the 8th over.
This one tossed into the air. So that will be the end of over number 10. Number 9.
8.
I'm sorry, over number 8. Lenny, thank God, is next to me because counting to 10 is a bit of a problem. So we're at the end of over number 8, 101 for 1. So a quick turnaround, and Darbar has gotten on to one knee and hit a colossal 6 over long on.
Yeah, we've seen a carnage here from Rajdeep Darbar, and he has now struck his 5th 6. Look at this, into the zone, and the little right-hander, he's not gonna allow those to really pitch and go nowhere else except out of the playing area. Lovely shot again from him.
Well, the confidence is flowing. Tamala, Darbar again, a cross-batted shot in between long off and long on, hits the side screen on the up. Well, bowlers are running for cover, the birds are flying. Darbar is in full flow, and field number 2 is about to be lit on fire by this little man.
Yeah, another big strike here from Rajdeep Darbar. This one will take him up to 70. Take a look at this one. Off the front foot, smashed into the long on area.
Again, you can hear bat on ball. Again, in between long on and long off, and it's another 4. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Rajdeep Darbar quickly on to 74. And yes, I can't count to 10. But I can read the numbers at 74 off of merely 27.
Yeah, we've seen 16 runs in this over from Aryan Tomala. And Rajdeep Darbar has really created some big impressions here at the Atlanta Open 2023 season. 100 on Friday, in fact 100 on Tuesday, 44 on Wednesday, and he's up to 74 on Thursday.
So it's tossed up, a square drive, and he's dropped him.
Yeah,
what a let-off.
Might have been Nasik Khan who bowled an over that conceded 21 runs. Got around, got both hands to the ball, but just couldn't hold on.
You know, confidence flows everywhere. Nasir Khan, like you mentioned, a rough opening over, a little down on himself. The ball came to him. It was spliced off the bat, a little bit of spin on it, and just couldn't hold on. Now we have Tamala bowling to the left-handed Carter. Carter drives high in the air. Long off is coming in. He doesn't get a good hold of it. Oh, and it dropped short. Great effort by long off. He had to cover a lot of ground, Lenny, but just couldn't hold on in the end.
Yes, Ryan. did everything right in terms of getting to the ball, but just couldn't hold on. Tough chance, if there's one for Jonathan Carter there. But we saw in the previous ball, Nasik Khan may have put down a bit of regulation catch at this level. You expect those to be taken, and Rajdeep Darbar has certainly escaped with 74, but it doesn't matter. Drop catches and that stuff, Ryan, is all part of the game.
Down the track he comes, and he pulls this one. But there's protection, so it's just a long, loud one. And it is, believe it or not, it's after 8 comes 9, and it's 120 for 1 after 9. Rishi Pandey, the cream of the crop when it comes to the bowlers for Atlanta Force. 5 runs off of his first over. Will continue. And he's going to get called for a wide delivery. Just to give everyone context, he's coming from the northern end. Bowling to the dangerous Darbar. 76 off of 29 deliveries. Unheard of. Tossed up. Beautifully bowled, just the one, and that's a win for the bowler.
Yeah, we've seen the previous over from Rishi Pandey, probably one of the better over we have seen. And when you look at the Manhattans, of course, it was probably one of the best over in terms of runs. He only conceded 5, so he started well here. 1 wide and a single, just a couple of runs as Jonathan Carter. Big partnership here, 61-run partnership.
Carter now trying to get a move on. He's 12 from 13, so understanding what his role is like, Lenny, which is sort of anchoring the innings and allowing Darbar to go to work, keeping Darbar on strike.
Yeah, Ryan, no pressure on the batsman at all. They're going at 13 runs and over. So even if you can soak up 1 or 2 tidy over or cheap overs or some dot balls, you know Darbar is at the other end and he deals in boundaries.
This one is tossed up again. Darbar just dug it out. So Pandey has shown a little bit of air in his deliveries, and somehow Darbar just is not picking it up and not getting to the pitch of the ball so far. The carnage is not over yet as long as he's in the wicket.
Yeah, we've seen a very good over here from Rishi Pandey. He's only conceded 4.
Nothing like a wrist to stem the flow, whether it's a long game in getting wickets or slowing the runs down in the shorter format of the game. Pandey, Carter just dabs to that short backward point.
Yeah, Rishi Pandey, he is also a minor league player. Comes out of the Atlanta Fire or the Morrisville team. I think he's played in the South region.
First attempt at a reverse sweep, and you know when that comes out, the bowler's winning. Another fantastic over by Pandey, and that will be 10 overs in the books, 124 for 1. Welcome back to beautiful Rydell, Georgia. A breeze coming across the ground. It's only 73 degrees. I was thinking of wearing my cardigan, Lenny. I'm from the Caribbean, like yourself, so anything over 80 degrees, I'm freezing. And Akil Posa, the new bowler, will come to bowl the 11th over. He's going to bowl to Jonathan Carter, 13 off of 17.
Yes, Ryan, as Akil Posa comes into the attack now. We've seen the other bowlers gone for 12 and 13 and even 14 runs and over. We've seen a couple of tidy over from Rishi Pandey, 2 overs no made, none for 9. So he has been the standout bowler so far. And this partnership between Rajdeep Darbar and Jonathan Carter has gone up to 63. We've seen a couple of 60s partnership. We saw the opening one between Danish Patel and Rajdeep Darbar. And Ryan, you look at Akil Posa, and don't tell me that's his run-up.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Lenny. I'm like, we have another Michael Holding. Here's Posa, his first delivery to Darbar. And it's a shortish delivery, a little bit of pace. So we saw some spinners, Lenny, over the last 3-4 overs. Now we have a zippy Posa.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Posa hasn't been given the ball before. I've seen him bowl before, Ryan. He's a quality young fast bowler. He'll probably learn a lot more as he goes on in his cricketing career. And I'm surprised with 124 for 1 in the 11th over, they have turned to Posa. He started well with a dot ball, and you get the feeling that the runs have stemmed the flow of runs a little bit.
Yep. Darbar just opens the face of the bat. They get a single. I'm going to give you a field here. That was the right-hander. Here comes the left-hander. As soon as the field changes, I'm going to give the viewers a chance, a view of, give them an idea of what the field looks like. So the fast medium post up to the left-handed Carter. The protection on the boundary. On the onside is a long on, a deep mid-wicket. Fine leg now comes in to a short backward square, to a regular backward square rather. A traditional third man and a sweeper at the cover region. And a long off. That's the 5 on the boundary. Posa. This one is pulled, bat on ball. Long on coming across. He's not going to get there. Carter gets a boundary and the sound of leather on willow, Lenny.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot from Jonathan Carter. Take a look at this one. The banged in short from Akil Posa. And look at that, hammered in front of square. Very fast outfield, lovely ground, lovely facility, and that races away for 4.
Tell you what, if Posa did his homework, you don't bang them into Bajans. Barbados has short, fast, flat wickets, and they live on the back foot. So you drop it short to a Bajan, it better be a quality short delivery.
And Jonathan Carter, Ryan, has played 33-1 international for the West Indies, so
this one is pitched up, and again, taking the bottom hand off of the bat, just allowing the ball to go down to third man, gets a single, and he allows the master blaster, I should say, Darbar, to get back on strike.
Yeah, very diminutive. Darbar is chasing another 100. This one, just look at that. Using some bit of touch onto the ball. Just showing the skill that he's not all brute force Jonathan Carter. He can score all around 360 batsman.
Posa, Darbar. This one is pulled away.
And Ryan, you get the feeling that Darbar has, as they say, here's a cricket terminology, he's gone into his shell in the last couple of overs. Is it because he's approaching 100?
You know what? I have to give some credit to Atlanta Force. I think the spin of Pandey slowed things down. And, you know, batting is confidence and rhythm. And I think if you upset that rhythm, I think you're starting to see the effects on Darbar's innings right now. Posa to the right-handed Darbar. Down the track he comes. This one is high in the air. Deep mid-wicket is under it. Will he hold on to it? He does! Darbar departs for 79 and the prize wicket for the Force.
Yeah, another lovely catch. Trying to go big into the onside. Not off the middle of the bat. Take a look at this one. Posa hitting the deck. And I'm surprised that I mentioned, Ryan, that Posa hadn't been introduced earlier on, but he comes up and he prized out the big wicket of Rajdeep Darbar. Excellent catch in the deep. And in the end, a couple of wickets to fall. 130 for 2.
Lenny, you think the extra pace did the trick? I mean, he has that extra zip that seems to come on to Darbar a little quicker. Darbar was so comfortable scoring square of the wicket in front in the V. This one seemed to hurry up onto him. Got that top edge. Like you mentioned, Lenny, Posa seems to be different gravy.
Yes, Ryan, and we all know Rajdeep Darbar is a short man. As a batter, if you're stretching to play balls, sometimes you lose control. And that's exactly what has happened there. He was never in control of the shot. And you've got to credit the fielder running in, number 22. He ran a very long way. He had to get around in time and got both hands to the ball. And a well-executed catch. Garanshu Sharma, it appears, comes to the middle. In fact, Suprit Madan, sorry. So it's 130 for 2. Jonathan Carter is still out in the middle. He's on 18. And we've seen a big knock again from Rajdeep Darbar for 79. 130 for 2.
Well, Carter, who is 18, like you mentioned, had 25 in the last match, off of 18 deliveries. So may not have light the world of fire so far in this tournament, but has been consistent. And now, with Darbar back in the pavilion, does he now become the aggressor?
Yes, Ryan, Jonathan Carter on strike. Suprit Madan has come in.
Full delivery. Carter doesn't get all of it, but he gets enough for a boundary. Just doesn't seem to be in full flight, Carter, but it was enough to find the gap.
So this is the dismissal of Rajdeep Darbar, trying to go big into the onside. A bit of a top edge towards the mid-wicket area. And then we see Jonathan Carter following up in the next over of the bowling of Rishi Pandey with a lovely drive, push drive through the offside.
Pandey hasn't made many errors. There was a full delivery. Back to Carter. Driven again.
Yeah, Jonathan Carter, he's played at the one international level for the West Indies. 33 of them, Ryan.
That is more than a handful. That will be an experienced one-day cricketer.
And some 43 first-class match for Barbados at the regional level. So Suprit Madan comes in here with 52 balls still to be bowled.
So Pandey deciding to come around the wicket now to the new left-hander. And Suprit, his first delivery, just adjusting the gear, trying to get settled, which is never easy when you go into the wicket. Surveys the ground, a deep backward square, a deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, deep cover. That's the cover for Pandey, the 5 men on the boundary. There's a fly slip and a short fine leg behind the wicket. A sweep is an appeal for LBW. It's our first appeal of the morning. And if there was VAR, Lenny, I would go straight to VAR if I was the captain for my first appeal.
Yes, Ryan. A chance to review, a chance.
Give some confidence to the bowler. Pandey. Just nudged to mid-wicket. Score creeps on to 136 for 2. We're almost completed the 12th.
Yeah, a couple of balls more will complete the 12th, and then we'll have had, as of now, we've got 50 balls remaining. Carter has batted well.
Oh, there's a huge appeal for caught behind, and he's given out. Carter's dismissed from the bowling of Pandey. Great catch by the wicketkeeper. It's never easy taking catches behind the stumps to a spinner, Lenny.
Yes, Ryan, Chad Hamilton, the keeper, comes out with a good catch, and that is because you don't get up too early. And he's done well, allow the ball to really come into his glove. Those catches most of the time are reflex catches. Take a look at this one. Rishi Pandey was always probing.
Was it the wrong one?
And the edge is found off the bat of Jonathan Carter, so the third wicket falls. It's 136 for 3.
So Carter departs. He departs for 23. Had 25 the other day, couldn't make that mark. So a new batter approaching the wicket. We'll have that name for you in just a couple of seconds. So a bit of life into Atlanta Force. In consecutive overs, they got the dangerous Darbar for 77. And now they got Carter for 23.
Shobtai.
So Shobtai comes to the wickets. Just a little bit of background on him. He had 38 off of many 8 deliveries, Lenny. So he can hit it hard and hit it often.
He comes out here with 49 balls still to be bowled. They're batting at 136 for 3. And we've seen a good wicket off the bowling of Rishi Pandey. Picked up the wicket of Jonathan Carter.
Just one delivery left. And immediately appeal for LBW. Umpire unmoved, and that is the end of another over. 12 into the books, 136 for 3. Breakfast. Welcome back to Rydell, Georgia. Lenny Archibar, Ryan Davis, happy to bring you this incredible broadcast. SC Tech Productions are bringing you this fantastic viewing on YouTube. And it's the Atlanta Open 2023. Masters Cricket Club winning the toss, setting the stage yet again. 3rd consecutive time they're doing that. 136 for 3. Lenny, the run rate? A whopping 11.3 so far.
Yeah, we've seen Masters really producing the runs in this tournament. 253 on opening day, 180 the next day. And you get the feeling that they are going to get up to probably about 180, 190. Supreet Madan along with Soap Tai out in the middle. And we've seen a very good over from Akil Posa, a youngster that runs in hard. He hits the deck and was able to price out the wicket of Rajdeep Darbar.
I like that you said that, runs in hard. You know, so often in T20, people modify their run-ups and just get up and bowl line and length accuracy. Posa is delivering some zip and he's producing results.
And Ryan, I made the point that I was kind of surprised that he was brought in the 11th over, 124 runs on the board already. And we saw in the very first over he was able to take out Rajdeep Darbar. He's a quality bowler.
Seems to have an old school, if you don't mind me using that term, sort of feel to him. Like we talk about that run-up, he's not going to sacrifice any sort of his run-up to get the over rate going. He's going to deliver every ball with zip and purpose.
And I'll tell you something about his run-up, Ryan. After this ball, here is Posa. Playing a miss, and he goes through to Chad Hamilton. When you look at Akil Posa when he walks at the top of his mark, he doesn't really need a marker because he's running exactly from that 30-yard mark. So his work is really cut out for him. He doesn't need a marker. He just price out the 30-yard circle and then he starts running.
I'm guessing he saw Imran Khan bowl because I got a chance to see the great Imran Khan bowl, and that's exactly what he did. So Posa, if you can get anything near the great man, you're on track. Bowling to tie. This one is down the leg side. And umpire Kane, no relation to Harry Kane from Tottenham Hotspur, now Bayern Munich. Signals are wide.
Yeah, Brian Kane now lives in New York. And the other umpire, Saravana Kumar, comes out of Rhode Island. So the umpires have made their trip also. And a couple of wins for both of these teams. A virtual final within Group A. Masters, they take on the Atlanta Force.
Ty is backing across, and not only does it look like a dot ball, but it looks like a dot ball in a test match, where Posa is starting to get on top of the batter, and no longer the thought of scoring, but more of surviving.
Yeah, we've seen some good bowling comebacks. Would have been started by Rishi Pandey. Aryan Tomala wasn't that bad towards the 9th and the 10th over. And now Akil Posa is giving you a couple of good overs here for the Atlanta Force. He's bowled 9 balls, he's only conceded 8, and he's picked up 1.
This one more an off stump. It allows Ty to open the face of the bat, but no run.
And Ryan, you look at 44 balls remaining, so run a ball will give them, what, 184, something in that vicinity. But you get the feeling that they'll be targeting another big score.
Lenny, you're from New Jersey. We're all interested in finding out what the Manhattan skyline looks like. How does it look now? Are we looking more like a 2-story house, or what are we looking at? Yep, Posa is building a 2-story house, trying to get it down to 1.
Some bungalows.
Some bungalows. Posa to Ty. Again, picks up the single. And I have to say, getting the batter on the back foot, just on the top of off, seems to be the secret sauce for Posa.
Yes, Ryan, and I get the feeling that Bhaskar Yadram, he's as aggressive as anyone else. I think he's going to come next. And then if Stephen Wigg, if he's made the final 11, he's a quality left-arm seamer. He hits the ball hard too, so I want to think with 43 balls remaining, those could be the batting options. Because we have seen Soap Thai taking some time to really get going. Supreet Madan along with him. And so far they have allowed the bowling to really put in some dot balls. Here's a final ball in the 13th over from Akil Posa.
Oh, it's a bit of a mix-up, but the fielder couldn't gather. So it allowed Supreet to get right down to halfway mark and all the way back. So the dot ball for the end of the over. So 13 overs in the books, 139 for 3.
So welcome back to field number 2. And this is day number 3, the prestigious Atlanta Open. And we're down in Rydell in Georgia alongside Ryan Davis. And we've seen a good game so far. It's 139 for 3, you can see that. And 13 gone. We've seen a bit of tidy stuff from this bowling team, Atlanta Force. They have won 2. And so has the Masters so far. It looks like Rishi Pandey will finish up here. 3 overs, no min, 1 for 15. And will come into bowl the Soap Thai, who has used up 5 balls so far. He's only on 1. And a ball heading down the leg side. We'll pick up a couple of runs here, Ryan, as we come down to the last 41 balls.
Rare loose delivery by Pandey. I want to talk a little bit about the reason why the runs have stemmed so much. Wickets, Lenny. 3 wickets. Understanding that Patel outed pretty early. Carter came in, organized a partnership with Darbar, with 2 quick wickets has got the Atlanta Force right back into this match.
Yes, Ryan, you're right on that. We saw 69-run partnership. We saw 61-run partnership. But the bowlers have really found themselves to really bowl themselves back into the game. And we've got 40 balls remaining.
And we're now seeing mix-ups in the middle of the wicket now between the batters, because a little bit of pressure starting to add up, a little bit of dot balls starting to compile, and no mystery that the 2 best bowlers, Pandey and Posa, are the reason behind these limited scoring in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, Brian, we've seen a very good spell from Rishi Pandey. 1 for 17 so far. He's in his 4th over. Oh, the first big shot from Soptai doesn't go too well, and we'll have to wait from Saravana Kumar. And leg by is the call.
So Pandey, again, the leg spinner to the right-hander, just pitching that ball, leg, midland leg. That is the natural spot for a leggy to a right-hander. Always going to be hard to get an LBW though. As long as you pitch outside leg, that's it. There's no chance of an LBW.
So we got 39 balls still to be bowled. Suprit Madan, he's been relatively quiet, and so has Soptai. And we come down to 39 balls still to be bowled. We've seen a very good spell from Rishi Pandey. He's bowled 1 for 17 so far. And look at that, runs coming by singles.
So Tai just going with the turn, and Pandey pitching it beautifully. Enough flight to not have the batter just pick up the ball early. And that's leaving a lot of second guessing.
So 4 in this over so far. First ball we would have seen going for 2. Oh, another big appeal. Chad Hamilton comes up with another catch, and Soptai falls. 143 for 4.
Well, the mystery spinner himself, Pandey, strikes. He's been tossing them up, Lenny. This one was flat. It was quicker. It hurried on to Tai. And Hamilton with another impressive catch behind the stumps to the wrist spinner. It hurried on to him. No chance. No room to cut. And the edge was heard around Atlanta. So another wicket falling. Atlanta Force are roaring back into this game. 4 wickets down.
So it looks like Bhaskar Yadram is gonna walk to the middle. Superb hitter of the ball. And he loves to come in situations like this, Ryan, with 37 balls remaining, trying to up the scoring, trying to end.
Lenny, are you saying I need to go get my helmet? Get the helmet ready.
You
okay.
may have to.
Got it.
And we saw in that game in which they made 253, got among some runs. And he's a good hitter of the ball, and he comes in here with 37 balls remaining. It's 142 for 4.
Talking about batters getting amongst the runs, that was Tai, like, who just went back to the pavilion. He had 38 off of 8 deliveries in day number 1. Didn't bother the scoring too much today. And for the little wrist spinner bowling to the gigantic right-hander, this could be quite the matchup.
So Bhaskar Yadram comes in here. Final ball for Rishi's spell. Oh, he gets a bit of an inside edge. We'll wait and see on that replay. And he gets off the mark in very streaky fashion. So, in fact, bye is the call from umpire Saravana Kumar. That completes the 14. And it's 144 for 4, Ryan.
Well, we call it googly in the Caribbean. We call it wrong on in Australia. And looks like Pandey pitched or bowled the perfect wrong on.
Welcome back, 14 overs gone. Welcome back, it's 144 for 4, 14 overs gone. And Akil Posa gets a relief. And it looks like Romario King has been given the ball, so he comes in here. Ryan, Romario King, not a young bowler, off spinner. Saw him bowl the other day on streaming.
Have to believe that Posa is going to be held for those death overs. And let's see how Bhaskar handles the spinner.
Good start here from Romario King. And we come down to 35 more left, Ryan. It's 145 for 4.
Pressure starting to mount. If there is any pressure, most of the damage was done in the opening 10 overs of this inning. But Atlanta Force have struck back through Pandev and Posa, now pegging Master Cricket Club back to 145 for 4. Those 3 quick wickets have gotten them back into the race.
We saw 253 and 180 scored by this team, so their appetite of scoring big runs has always been part of this series.
Tell you what, though, going back to Atlanta Force, giving them credit. 253 you can't get, it's over. And that's what Master Cricket Clubs are masked on day one. 180, you're in with a fight. And the Force, if they can get it to that total, keep it to that total, then we have a match on our hands.
So ball driven into the offside. So run coming by singles. We've seen a very good over here so far from Romario King, the off spinner. He's only conceded 3, Brian.
Tell you what, with a name like Romario, he should be scoring goals rather than getting wickets.
So Supreet Madan, he's been there for some time. He's only produced 4. So they're asking, Brian King comes up with the finger, and that's the end of Supreet Madan. So another wicket goes down. Romario King comes up with 1 in his first over. It's 147 for 5.
Well, he didn't look too happy, Supreet Madan. He was down the track. He's a tall man. But we'd like to see where this hit him. Was it low? Was it almost like a half volley? Let's see where this one pitched. King, who's been tight with line and length around the wicket to the left-hander. We see him come down the track a bit. Hits him right on the roll of the pad. A sort of a half attempt. And from our angle, well, the umpire has the best angle, so we're going to go with him. So a valuable wicket. Now the pressure continues to mount.
So we've got
the big hit in Bhaskar, who has come in and got a couple of singles. Now he's the one who has to start looking up at the scoreboard. May have to start taking some chances. Something we never thought, Lenny, that would happen in this innings. But the Force have bounced all the way back in the second half of this innings with incredible line and length bowling and getting those valuable wickets.
Yes, Ryan, we saw Masters getting to 100 in just about the 9th over. They were going at almost 12 and 13 runs an over. Jihan Senanayaka comes to the middle, and he is also a very attacking, free-flowing player. So we come down to 32 balls remaining. And it's 147 for 5. Bhaskar Yadram along with Jihan Senanayaka.
Senanayaka had 60 off of 47 deliveries just yesterday. So a man in form. And boy, does he need it right now. The Atlanta Force are applying some force.
So 32 balls remaining. We've seen a very good over from Romario King into the offside, can't score, and he will love this matchup, Ryan, to allow the ball to turn away from the left-hander.
Yeah, nothing like a finger spinner bowling to a left-hander. Gets to dig it into the pitch and make the batter go after it, just like that.
So the 15th over comes to a close. It's 147 for 5. So we're down to the last 5 overs. Bhaskar Yadram, the man on strike, he's on 2. We have seen Jihan Senanayaka, he's just come out, faced a couple of balls. And no more Rishi Pandey because he's done. And Ryan, we look to, it looks like Aryan Tomala comes back for his second bowling spell. Let's see what he has done before. He bowled at a difficult time of the game. 3 overs, no min, none for 41.
Yeah, he bowled when Darbar and Patel, then Carter coming into the wickets. They were in full flow, so no bowler was spared. Can he tidy up his figures and complete his spell?
So Yadram is another player, Ryan, who has played at the West Indies junior level, comes out of Guyana.
Looks like Tamala has done his homework. Dug one in short. He's going to force Yadram to score square of the wicket and not over the top.
So Yadram goes straight down the ground and that has gone away for 4. That's the power of that man. He's very strong, Bhaskar Yadram. The 150 comes up.
Well, once, a couple of years ago, a fielder dove out of the way of Clive Lloyd's shot. And we saw a similar action here. There's no fielder there. He just ran and disappeared as that ball came through that bullet and hit the fence for 4. So you can't really blame him. Maybe he has to get the helmet for the field out on the boundary.
So 151 comes up. We saw the 50 coming up in the 4th over. The 100 came up in the 9th. And the 151 comes up in the 16th over. Here is Tomala. And Bhaskar Yadram into the offside. The ground is not too big to hold him. And that has gone for another maximum.
So, incredible shot by Yadram. The ball before Tamala dug it in short. Yadram's ability to get off the back foot and score the 4. This time getting onto the front foot. Well, this is the problem. If he gets to open his shoulders on the front foot with that momentum, you're going to get a 6 rather than a 4. You're not going to give your fielders a chance. Tamala has to go back to digging it in short and make Yadram score off of the back foot rather than getting onto that front foot.
So 10 in the last 2 balls from Aryan Tomala. He came into this over pretty expensive and he has gone for 10 in just 3 balls. He's bowling to Bhaskar Yadram. And Yadram into the offside. Fielder will come around, does well to keep the ball within the outer boundary.
Well, Tamala held this one back just a little bit, about a half a yard in front of Yadram. Couldn't get into this wheelhouse. So he gave his fielders a chance and gave his team a chance.
So 11 in this over, 26 balls to be bowled. Jihan Senanayaka, the new man, comes in, faces his first ball from this end. We've seen a couple of big strikes in that over from Bhaskar Yadram. He's known, and that's what he does to the latter end of the innings, Ryan. Oh, it's trying to go big. Ball turning away from the left-hander.
Don't ever doubt the power of getting wickets. There's another example. New batter coming in. And Kian just cannot seem to pick up the delivery. Understandably, he's merely just faced 2 deliveries before that one.
Lofted into the offside. Oh, fielder does well to try get hand onto the ball, but it has gone for 6. So another 6 off the bat, this time of Senanayaka. The 16th over comes to a close, and that one has gone upstairs, Ryan.
Well, this one was tossed up, daring the new batter. And Senanayaka got enough under it, just enough. Look at the fielder, a valiant attempt. He got his hand to it, just had no more real estate to work with. And landed on, yes, that is concrete. So, what an attempt, but you can understand Tamala daring the batter, the new batter, to try and go after him.
So 16 gone, it's 164 for 5, 24 balls remaining. And you get the feeling, Ryan, in between 253 and 180. This is where the score will land. They may not get up to 253. And I'm pretty sure that they'll get further than 180.
Yes, and again, Masters Cricket Club, they definitely have a plan that they work with every single game. If they win the toss, they understand the strength of their batting. They set these totals that puts pressure on the team coming out. And that has won them the first 2 games, and so far has had them with all the momentum in this 3rd game.
So Romario King will continue 1 for 3 in his first over. Will be bowling to Bhaskar Yadram. Yadram down the ground. Fielder does well to keep the ball in play. Hitting with the wind, the batters.
Correct, and King not pitching it up like other spinners have been, just holding it back just a little bit, not allowing Yadram to get into his wheelhouse and allowing his long on and long off to do the work.
Ryan, do you know this gentleman walking here?
I don't know, but he's a very good looking gentleman.
It's a ball into the offside. That's a lovely drive from Sananaika. Could they come back for two? No, Bhaskar Yadram wants one, because you know why. Well, that's former West Indies player Clayton Lambert.
Clayton Lambert, left-handed batter. Believe he's from Guyana? Correct, yes, Clayton Lambert.
Yeah, he lives in this area. He's always been around the cricket, and I think he's the coach of this Atlanta Force team, young squad. Oh, Bhaskar Yadram into the onside. Has he gotten good enough wood on that? Yes, he has. Upstairs that goes. And umpire Brian Keane signals a 6.
Well, Romario King drifted on into the pads of Yadram, and all he had to do is swing through it, Lenny, and he did exactly that. King has to live just outside off stump. He drifted inside and paid the price.
So 20 off 9 balls from Bhaskar Yadram, 8 in this over. Oh, into the offside. He has enough, and that has gone for another maximum. So Bhaskar Yadram towards the end with 20 balls remaining. Couple of sixes in this over, Ryan. It's 178 for 5.
Well, don't hold my feet to the fire. King did exactly what I told him to do. Pitch it outside the line of off stump. But when you have a man with this sort of power and form, all he has to do is get under it and play through it. And the rest is history. And Yadram using those big shoulders and that big bat. And poor Romario King still has 2 deliveries left.
Yeah, Bhaskar Yadram, Ryan, not too sure if, I'm pretty sure you did. You watched Major League Cricket. He would have been part of the Knight Riders team while he didn't play a match. Good experience for the man. And has been part of the minor league circuit for some time. Comes out of the Stallions out of New Jersey. A couple of years ago, he would have played for the Empire State Titans, a New York franchise. So he's really been playing top-level cricket. He's been known to be one of the big finishers, and he bowls a very stiff medium pace. So we're trying to retrieve the ball that may have landed on the tarmac and then it scoots away. Maybe under some car.
I think it's on I-75, to be honest. Rolling its way down to Florida.
So a couple of sixes in consecutive balls off the bowling of Romario King. And he's gone for 14. We've got 20 balls left, Ryan. And it's 178 for 5. Bhaskar Yadram up to a quick 26 from just 10 balls. Exactly what Masters need at this stage.
I think Guian will do well at this point of the innings to just get the single and get Yadram back on strike. With that sort of hitting the good balls and the bad balls and scoring boundaries. That's exactly what the team needs right now. And let's see if the left-hander will oblige in getting Yadram back on strike.
And Ryan, while there's a break in the action, we can look at some of the group matchups. We see this one is a Group A match. Atlanta Force and Masters look like they'll be the 2 teams to come out of this group. When you look across the Group B, Kingsmen X, well-loaded, top-quality team put together. And we've seen the 22 yards, a team that comes out of the D.C. area, DMV. D.C., Maryland, Virginia, DMV. That's how you kind of distinguish that state.
The DMV?
DMV, not motor vehicles.
That's disappointing. I was going to renew my license. I was going to walk over to their tent.
Well, it's D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. That's the area. It's a very long area, a lot of geography. And then, of course, Group C, the Atlanta Lightning, a local team. They have done well. In fact, the Lightning team has been in 2 finals for the last couple of years. So they're one of the team to watch. I think captained this year by Unmuk Chan. But in the previous year would have been led by Ricardo Powell, who still plays and plays very well. UMMC, watch this team. This team is going to go deep into the tournament. Romario King continues. And Bhaskar Yadram works this one into the onside. And this over's gone for 15. This over has already been taken apart here by the Masters team. We've seen a couple of big strikes from Bhaskar Yadram, Ryan.
Yeah, perfect scenario for him, just getting a single. And if Guian can just get a dot ball or score a boundary, Yadram will be back in action in the next over.
So ball worked into the offside, can't score. So 17 gone, it's 179 for 5. So the cricket will continue. It's 179 for 5. Akil Posa marks his run, a long one. Ryan just to finish up. And you look at Group D, probably the group of death. Atlanta Fire, Kingsmen. Well put together squad, some top international players in there. And Samp Army. Samp Army might have been 2021, got into the final along with Lightning. And so some big teams in that group. So Akil Posa, with 3 overs remaining, will come into bowl to Bhaskar Yadram.
Posa getting that prize scalp of Rajiv Darbar with that extra pace. Is coming back in at the right time. And I love that he held up his run, Lenny. It really does give that sort of Malcolm Marshall sort of feel to it, where I'm going to unleash some thunderbolts. But like, just give me a second to get my run up. But what a matchup this is. Yadram, the big hitting right-hander, against the quick Posa. Have to see Posa dig a couple in to see if Yadram can score on that back foot and not get into that wheelhouse on the front foot.
Yeah, that's a good start. Full and straight and with some bit of pace. Yadram can only get 1. Hands the strike over to Sananayaka. 180 for 5. In fact, no ball is the call, Ryan.
Well, no, Yadram is now wishing he would stayed on the other end because you'd have a free hit. So, Sananayaka, 60 off of 47 yesterday, is in good nick. And now he has a free hit to work with. Hasn't scored many boundaries. He has 7 off of 6. And right now, for Posa, he has some cover back overhead with a long off and a long on. Deep mid-wicket, deep cover.
So 100. So 181 on the boards. This is the second highest score by the Masters. Oh, short, top-edged. And it's going to run away towards the backward square area. Look at that. That has gone 1 bounce for 4.
Well, that was quick. Most batters wouldn't got a bat to it. But because he's in such good nick, Lenny, he got a lot of edge, but a lot of middle of his as well. Enough to get to the boundary and make the most of this free hit.
So 185 on the card, their second highest score, behind 253 on opening day. And you get the feeling, Ryan, with 17 balls remaining, there are going to be more. Bhaskar Yadram and Sananayaka. Gets an edge, flies to third, only a single, and brings the hard hit in Bhaskar Yadram onto strike.
We saw Posa with the attempted Yorker to Yadram in that first delivery that was called a no ball. That was another one he attempted to Sananayaka. The short delivery was the no ball, was the free hit. It was hit to the boundary. So the result of the short ball being hit to the boundary, I can expect Posa to come right back up. He's pushing his long on and long off right up to the ropes, expecting another Yorker attempt.
So Yadram straight down the ground, and that has gone into field number 1. And that has gone for another maximum. Big strike from Bhaskar Yadram.
Well, everyone on the field knew it, and so did Yadram. This one is going to be pitched up. The attempted Yorker just a fraction short of its length, and Yadram, that means in his wheelhouse, gets under it and gives it the maximum.
So Yadram goes quickly up to 34 from just 13 balls. They're into the 190s. They're 192. With 15 balls remaining, Posa's gone for 13 in this over so far. This is a top of the table clash in Group A, with both teams on 4 points. Tugged into the onside, only a single, Ryan. And Ryan, we come down to the last 2 rungs of the league stage, and this is where the teams are beginning to separate themselves from the others.
Lenny, I think at this stage of the tournament, you start to see teams that rise to the top Not so much the teams that excel in every department, but make fewer mistakes. The teams that make the least mistakes wins.
Shot off the bat of Jahan Senanayaka, and he's gotten into the act. And that has gone into field number 1 again. A massive strike from Senanayaka, gone for 6.
Well, Posa has got to adjust his length. He's neither short nor full at the moment. He's bowling half volleys, as they say. Something you get in the practice nets, Lenny. Like how you bowl in the nets, Lenny. And this one is pitched up, and Senanayaka, remembering that 6th day yesterday, gets under it and hits it into field 1.
So it's 199. We talked about how good Akil Posa was, but he's gone for 20 in this over. And you get the feeling, Ryan, he's bowling at the death. It's always tough on bowlers in this format of the game.
But I think he has to use that pace and that zip by adjusting his length. It's a little bit shorter. Right now it's too easy for the batters.
199. And so the 200 comes up, and it comes off the bat of Senanayaka. And that has gone away for 4. 203 on the card.
Well, Posa is living on a full length, and the ball is living at the boundary. Again, trying to pitch it up. It turns into another half volley just outside of stump. And it's enough to keep the batter to keep his shape and put the blade right through it.
So the 200 comes up here for Masters. 2 overs remaining. And we've seen a big partnership between the pair out in the middle. It has gone up to 56 so far. And the Masters on to another big score here at Rydal in Atlanta, Georgia. 69 was the biggest partnership so far between Jonathan Carter and Rajdeep Darbar. We also saw 61 between Danish Patel and Rajdeep Darbar. And now the 3rd highest partnership between the pair out in the middle. So they have really brought on some big scores, these partnerships.
It's amazing how boundaries allow the batter to start dictating the game. Now the bowler is the one who has to adjust, not the batter. And then the batter starts to predict what the bowler is about to do. And as long as he can start picking off the delivery before the bowler actually bowls it, then the result turns into the batter's favour more often than not. And that's what the big hitting Yadram has done so far. He's made the bowlers be the ones to adjust, and now he starts to dictate the innings and where the ball is going to go.
Ryan, they have been 30 boundaries in this innings so far from Masters, so that tells you the story. Nasir Khan comes back. We saw him bowling the first over, but he has come back here into the 19th.
First great opportunity for Khan to start to rejuvenate his bowling spell, and that is the length. A little bit short of a length. Allow these batters to get their power, cutting the ball through cover or point. Let them try to score boundaries, whether maximums or 4s in that area. Don't have them get into their wheelhouse to hit you back overhead, and do not strain the leg side where you can go over mid-wicket for a full flow of runs.
So 21 came off his first over, Nasir Khan. And he allows one to go through. It's called a wide, and so this one will have to be rebowled.
Well, the margin of error is so limited in 2020 cricket, and Khan is discovering that. That is the area he has to bowling. Yes, just outside of stump, but as long as he strays just outside the batter's reach, he has to bowl it all over again with 1 run to the total.
So Bhaskar Yadram, square over the offside, and that has gone for a maximum. Bhaskar Yadram with another 6.
Well, Lenny, I'm going to talk more about the the Mercedes-Benz. That ball just missed. It landed in between the Audi and the Mercedes-Benz, which that means that ball has eyes on it. What a shot by Yadram. We talked about trying to pitch that ball, bowl that ball in that area and have him score in that area. But it makes no difference right now, Lenny. He's in that sort of flow. He's in that sort of confidence. Too little, too late, as they say.
So he goes up to 41 from just 16 balls. Yadram has struck 5 sixes, Ryan.
I don't think I've hit 5 sixes in my entire career, Lenny. This man just did it in 20 minutes. That is the power of this man.
And the ball seems to like some expensive European cars.
Yeah, it does.
And I guess that's the only way you can prevent Bhaskar Yadram from hitting the ball bowling wise, but you will have to re-bowl those. It's 211 for 5.
At this point, if I suggest anything to Khan, I don't think Yadram will be fooled at this moment. He's just so on top of the bowling right now. A full toss or a Yorker outside off stump may be the best way to go. I think the only delivery left to bowl.
So no elevation at all. So a bit of a minor triumph here for Nasik Khan.
Well, he tried it. It was full outside off stump, hit the bottom of the bat, as you can see Yadram inspecting the timber.
So the win by either team will put one at the top, put one at the second place. We've seen Falcons, another team in this group, probably going nowhere in this competition. And we've also seen Carolina Smasher peels off the outside edge, and more runs here for Masters. Gone for 4.
Cannot fault Khan for this one. That is the line he has to bowl just outside off stump and adjust his length in that corridor. He finds the outside edge like any bowler, any medium pacer or fast bowler would want to get. But there's no third man for protection in this part of the game. And another boundary to Yadram.
So 215 for 5, 8 balls remaining. This over's gone for 12. Still a couple of balls remaining. We've seen a couple of wides. And Nasik Khan would have bowled the second over, gave up 21 and has come back. He's gone for 12, 2 balls remaining for him. Short, hammered into the onside. The playing area simply too small for Bhaskar Yadram. He picks up another 6, 221 on the board.
Well, it's a shot you're going to see on the beaches of the Caribbean. So another boundary, and it's off the bat of Bhaskar Yadram, something we learned to expect. This one outside off stump and just pushed away. Beautiful cricket shot for 4.
So Ryan, we down to the last 6, last over 225. Were we sure when we said they couldn't get up to 253?
Did I say that? We didn't see this man Bhaskar Yadram in this kind of mood, so he has come in and reopened the discussion, Lenny, of 250.
So Akil Posa, probably one of the better bowler. Well, in fact, Rishi Pandey, 2 for 18 or 4 would have been the best. But Akil Posa will come into bowl to Senanayaka. And a play and a miss, so a good start to the 20th over.
So Akil Posa needs a little assistance. He was trying his very best to bowl Yorkers, full deliveries in his last over, and he was taken to the woodshed by Yadram and Senanayaka. Now, Lenny, he has to just pitch it just slightly short of a length and live on off stump or just outside off stump to survive.
So this over would have started, Ryan, with them needing 28 runs to really eclipse or get level to 253 we saw on opening day. We've seen a couple of good balls there from Akil Posa. He's bowled 2, he's only given up 1. Yadram comes in to strike. And we've got 4 balls remaining.
Well, our production manager Roddy is now battering up the hatches for his window on his truck, as Yadram is going to face Posa. If Posa drops one short and pulls, we're all in trouble.
Slower ball in the air towards square leg, and look at that. It bounces away, and that has gone away for 4.
It hits Roddy's tire, not his window, and Roddy's not going to mind. But again, hand on the head for Posa. He pitched this one up. But again, outside leg stump, you're at the batter's mercy at that point, and Yadram gets another boundary.
So Yadram goes up to 59 in quick time from just 21 balls. We made mention Ryan 6 sixes and 4 fours, and he's really come out. Timing of innings has really been brilliant. And he comes out with 3 balls remaining. It's 230 for 5.
So 50 of his runs have come from boundaries.
It's another free hit, I think. So this might have been a no ball too.
All right, let me get my helmet, because Yadram has a free hit.
It's a free hit ball, 231 for 5. 4 balls remaining. Here is Posa. Oh, that's a lovely shot. All along the carpet. And 4 more runs for Bhaskar Yadram.
Lenny, that would be 4 in Melbourne Cricket Ground. It'll be 4 in Kingston. It'll be 4 in Lords. It's 4 in Atlanta. T20 in Rydell. Beautiful cricket shot by Yadram. It was pitched up, and boy, talk about technique and timing.
Powerful Ryan, a man who has played first-class cricket for, and so he has had some solid upbringing from since his junior days. Slower ball, and that's gone. That's gone a long way into the parking lot of pitch number 2, and that has gone away for another maximum.
Confidence, confidence, confidence. When you've been hit for many boundaries, tied, and now he's making mistakes, and Yadram is pouncing on anything that's loose. A full toss, you see those in the beaches of the Caribbean as well, and they end up in the ocean. This one ended up in the bush past the cars behind us.
So 241 on the board. If these 2 balls go for 6s, then they'll probably get close or even past 253 that they score on Tuesday. So here is Akil Posa. Bhaskar Yadram on 69 not out from just 20. So final ball coming up is 241, posted by Masters. Bhaskar Yadram on 69. Oh, look at that. That has gone a long way. One of the biggest we have seen in this 2023 Atlanta Open. And it comes off the bat of Bhaskar Yadram. He finishes up with 75. It's 200.
It's still in the air. What a shot by Yadram. He saved the best for last. And that's is symbolic of the innings by Masters Cricket Club. And here they have set a total for the 3rd consecutive day now, Lenny, which may be unattainable for this Atlanta Force team. But what an effort by the big man.
Yeah, sure. We have seen 75 from Bhaskar Yadram from just 25 balls, Ryan. We've seen regal hitting from the strong man, and he has allowed them to post 247. Could be a very stiff target here for the Atlanta Force. 2nd time they're getting close to 250, and it comes off the bat of Bhaskar Yadram and Rajdeep Darbar, who got 79.
I was about to say Rajdeep Darbar's. We're talking about Yadram, an incredible innings, but that's off of the back of Darbar's innings, which was spectacular. 79 off of very few deliveries. But what an innings by Master Cricket Club. They have set the tone for this tournament in scoring high totals and being the aggressors from the start. Let's see if anyone can catch up to their sort of momentum, to their sort of ability. Atlanta Force will have their chance, but it's going to be a tall task.
So we'll take a short break and resume when the 2nd innings begins with 248 needed from 120 balls.
never gonna find.
Good boy.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, indeed, but that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
Good boy.
It's 8 a.m. We on fire and we never gonna find.
Good boy. Good boy.
It's 8 a.m. We on fire and we never gonna find.
Good boy.
Needed 248 to win from 120 balls, asking 12.4. A massive score put up here by Masters. 253 on the first day, 247 today. 79 from Rajdeep Darbar, 75 from Bhaskar Yadram. Stephen Wigg will start here. Will come into bowl to Romario King. And so a very tall ask from the Atlanta Force. So here we go, Stephen Wigg. And a King allows ones to go through to the offside, and there is no run. So Romario King, and so Romario King and Danush Kaveri Pakam. Kaveri Pakam has come to the middle. Seen a very good start here from Stephen Wigg. Here he is to King, and King is playing into the offside. Yasser Mohammed makes a very good save. And now they come back for a couple of runs. So off the deflection and certainly off the overthrow, allowing the batter to go through for two. So off the mark is Romario King. Romario King has come out with Kaveri Pakam. And so a long way for them to go. They need 246 more. Asking 12.5 runs and over. We saw during the course of the Masters innings, we saw a couple of big knocks. 79 from Rajdeep Darbar. And we also saw 75 from Bhaskar Yadram. Bhaskar Yadram 75 coming off just 25 balls. Oh, off the top edge. It goes down to a wide third position, and so a single also to Romario King. He goes up to 3 and brings Kaveri Pakam onto strike. So Danush Kaveri Pakam on strike. And he gets a ball that he steers away into the offside. And he picks up an easy run. Things are on the way here for the Atlanta Force. Both teams have won their 2 games so far. This is game number 3 for both teams. And as we come down to the latter stages of the league period, and then of course we get into the playoff. So very important rungs, as you can imagine, as Stephen Wigg runs in again to Romario King. King gets a good delivery into the offside. That will complete over number 1. So 1 gone is 5 for no loss. So Noman Iftikhar will come into the attack. Will come into bowl to Romario King. King is on 4. Ball into the onside. That's a good looking shot from Romario King, and he's picked up a boundary. So ball straying down the leg side from Noman Iftikhar. And a lovely strike from Romario King. Just using the pace of the ball, swinging down the leg side, and that has gone away for 4. So not a bad start here from the Atlanta Force. They'll need to go 12 and 13 runs and over if they are to overhaul 247 posted by the Masters. So far they're off to a good start. We've seen forced ball 4 off the bowling of Noman Iftikhar. Ball stroked into the offside, can't score. Yasser Mohammed is the fielder. So 239 needed from 112 balls, asking almost 13 runs and over. Couple of big knocks. We saw Rajdeep Darbar getting 79, Bhaskar Yadram getting 75. Gets on inside edge is Romario King, will pick up a single run. So it was gone pretty well here for Noman Iftikhar. And brings Danush back onto strike. Danush Kaviri Pakam. Oh, that's a lovely drive into the offside. Can't beat the man at short cover. Score remains a 10 for no loss. We've seen a couple of good shots from Romario King. One not too long ago off the bowling of Noman Iftikhar would have gone away for 4. That's a good delivery to Danush. Can't score again. So we've seen an over from Noman Iftikhar. First ball has gone for 4. But he has really made a good comeback, not allowing the batters to go for anything off. And an over in which he is really running hard. He's allowed the ball to swing, pitched it up. And here's the final ball, 10 on the board so far. So they're going at almost 5 runs and over. A play and a miss. Ball goes through to Darbar. So 2 gone is 10 for no loss.
One hard! One hard!
Boy, boy.
So Stephen Wigg continues. Ball into the offside from Romario King. He can't score. And that asking rate now is 13.3. It's going to be a tough one here for the Atlanta Force. Have won their opening games against Carolina Smashers and Falcons. In the air, Jonathan Carter runs out of space, and that has gone for 6. So a good shot from Romario King, high over square leg. And for a moment, Jonathan Carter had some bit of play, but in the end, it's gone for 6. That's a good strike from Romario King. Take a look at that. Short and pulled well. Over the square leg boundary. And that has gone for 6, 16 for none. Ball into the offside, can't score. And so far we've seen 6 in this over. Not a bad one here from Stephen Wigg. We saw in this over a lovely shot from Romario King. Oh, edged into the third area, and it goes through the hands of Noman Iftikhar, and it's gone away for 4. So 10 runs in this over so far. Romario King getting a ball shortish outside the off stump. Look at this. Flashed the bat at it, got a good slice on it, and it runs up to a short, in fact, to a fine third position, and that has gone away for 4. So we've got a couple of balls remaining. They're up to 20 without loss. We've seen a good knock so far from Romario King. He's up on 19. So just waiting for a replacement ball. That ball off a good slice from Romario King would have gone through the hands of Nomi Iftikhar. And so some bit of retrieving to get the ball back. So Stephen Wigg will continue. They found the ball, and so we're back with cricket. Will come into ball to Romario King. King is on 19. He's really batted well. He's looked to be a player with very strong, solid defense. He has handled the paces pretty well, and don't be judgmental for the fact that they require 13, 14 runs and over. It's always going to be a tall task, no matter who's batting. But when you take the game from what it is, looks to be a solid opening batter. And so far he's posted 19. He's batted well. Here's Stephen Wigg, final ball. And ball eased into the onside, and King will pick up another single, so that will close out over number 3, and after 3 is 21 without loss. So Noman Iftikhar will continue. They're going at 7 runs and over. And will come into ball to Romario King. He has looked the part. He's a quality player. And here is Noman Iftikhar. Runs in from the southern end. Ball driven back to the bowler. There is no run. So a couple of wins for these teams. We have seen the Atlanta Force and Masters winning their opening 2 games. And you get the feeling that it's a top of the table clash. Teams will be jostling for that number 1 position. And we'll have to wait and see how this goes. But Masters really played well. We saw a couple of 70s from Bhaskar Yadram and Rajdeep Darbar. Stroked into the offside and single to Romario King. So that brings Danush Kaveri Pakam back on strike. And Danush has literally been out of strike for some time. Romario King has used up most of the bowling so far. So doesn't deliver this time is Noman Iftikhar. So Romario King is in 1 inning so far. He's picked up 20 runs so far. And Danush is the man on strike. Here is Noman Iftikhar. Big play and a miss. And the ball goes through to Rajdeep Darbar, and there is no run. So we've seen Danush in the series so far, 23 in a couple of innings. Noman Iftikhar, saw him this year playing for the Yorkers. Minor league ball steered away straight into the hands of the man at slip. And the fielder does well to keep the ball to a dot ball. That's Bhaskar Yadram, who had a fine knock of 75 from 25 balls. So a long way to go, 226 required from 99 balls. And it looks like Masters will certainly get the... Oh, flicked away. Very fast outfield, and Danush picks up a much needed boundary. Lovely shot from the right-hander. Balls sliding down the leg side from Noman Iftikhar. And flicking well from Danush. That has gone quickly down to the fine leg boundary. And the Atlanta Force, they're batting at 26 for no loss.
Got yourself a quiet spot, big man.
So I'm joined in the box with Shaw Faisal, who has had a lot of work to do, and gonna catch up with my good buddy Shaw Faisal, who has made the long trip. But Noman Iftikhar has conceded 5 in this over into the offside. Oh, misfield from Sachin Mailavarapu. And it runs up towards the deep cover boundary. And they'll pick up a couple of runs. So things are on the way here. Atlanta Force, they're chasing a big target. As we quickly say hello to Shaw Faisal. Shaw Faisal, welcome to my game today.
Thank you very much, Lenny. It's always a pleasure to commentate with you and good to catch up with you after a long time. welcome to this part of the world. You say that I'm hectic. You've been pretty hectic on the plane from New York, jumping off and straight to the fields here. Your first experience of this complex is brand new. It's a welcome addition in this part of the world because we can have turf pitches, and it's very early doors, but still I absolutely love the facility. What's your first impressions?
Oh, very super, Shaw Faisal. I was on comm with Ryan, and we were talking about the old facility that is, of course, at the Atlanta playing field. And we've come here, turf pitches to begin with, so that's a big improvement. And we've seen some very good cricket. In fact, the last couple of days I've been watching, and the true bunks of these pitches, it's amazing to see. Getting turf is one thing. Getting it to play the right way is the biggest challenge. Here is Stephen Wigg. And how much have you seen of Romario King? Top quality young player?
Absolutely. I mean, when you follow cricket around, you see some of the household names in USA circuit, but also there are some household names in this tournament, in the roster there in particular. As we go towards, today is the final day of the round robin stages, so the teams that will progress, you'll see condensed all these started names as we watch another single here. Romario Richards definitely is one of them, and
yes,
absolutely love the field here.
Yes,
Shaw, Open.
Certainly Shaw Faisal, and bring the listeners with some bit of what to look forward for tomorrow. Is it the top two teams from each group coming out?
Yes, so tomorrow is what we're going to have is the top two teams and a couple of lucky losers. As you see this in the air and gone.
Yasir Mohammed takes the catch.
And the man from USA Under-19 and USA National Team at backward point. Really easy catch, soft dismissal. But once again is that bounce that Lenny was talking about. Batter really couldn't get on top of that bounce, Danish, and handed an easy chance to Yasir, who took it gleefully. Another wicket fallen. This is a high scoring ground, this field too, and loss of wickets can derail any run chase.
Yeah, we've seen 247 posted by the Masters, coming off at 253 on opening day, and in their second day they got up to 180, so they've really piled on the score, this Master team. And Shaw Faisal, this is Group A. This is the top of the table clash. So the team that wins here now will be the team that will be the #1 seed from this group. So that will count for something, because many times the way it works in terms of net run rate, your top seeded team, you will face a lesser teams that have not really done too well from a striking rate or run rate, net run rate possibility. And so we'll have to wait and see. Number 13 comes to the middle. And yeah, we've enjoyed some very good cricket so far. So it looks like Nitish has come to the middle. Nitish Sudini. And he comes in here with a long way to go. 219 needed, 14 runs and over.
Yeah, this ground is fast outfield, short boundaries, and the pitch is one of the best. Plenty of big names of cricket from in and around this area present at Paramveer Cricket Complex. Clayton Lambert, the former West Indian opening batter, does a lot of coaching here in Atlanta area.
Yes, Shaw Faisal, and I want to think that he's the coach of this Atlanta Force team. I did see just before the game he was doing some catching practice with them. So short ball from Stephen Wigg, and we were talking about the surface and the bounce it provides. That's a good assessment of what it does when you really bend your back and allow the ball to really hit the deck.
It does, once again. And if you look at the surface, I mean, I know we're playing on 4 fields, and some of the surfaces that you look around are a bit tacky, but this one looks very flat. But the general character of the soil here is that it is pretty hard and bouncy. So even if it has no grass or it looks flat, but the ball carries nicely. So it does give something to everyone. You know, if you're a good bowler, you enjoy the bounce. If you're a good spinner, more than the turn, spinners enjoy the bounce, and obviously batters do like it.
So inside edge, not the intended shot and certainly not the intended direction, but the ball has found a way to get up to fine leg, and that's 4 runs.
Sometimes the bowler may think that this game is not made for them, this T20 format. Through no fault of his, Stephen Wigg has conceded 4 runs. A false stroke, really tentative prod there from the batter. But that inside edge was enough to take the ball past that 45 who's in the ring and earns him a boundary. Sputtering of people gathering here, and we look forward to some exciting cricket as we trim down into the knockout stages.
So into the offside, Stephen Wigg completes another. So 5 gone, it's 34 for 1.
Atlanta Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man in deep, and that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside, a slow, short ball. So 34 for 1, the leg spinner, Yasir Mohammed, who's come off the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers in minor league final just a couple of days ago, Shah Faisal. And he comes into the attack here defending 14.2 and over.
Yeah, but bowling spinners on this field, you really have to be on top of your game because you don't have a lot of margin for error, especially being a wrist spinner, you know. You have to be precise with your lines and lengths, otherwise you can be taken to cleaners. But Yasir is a very talented cricketer, there's no doubt about it.
So he comes in to bowl to Romario King. He's really looked the part. And always Shah Faisal, it was always going to be tough to score 247 or to challenge 247. But if you look at Romario King, he's really shown that he's the future.
Yes, he collects another single, but Lenny Weir plays exactly sideways, so we're square on. And we talked about that bounce, the first delivery that Yasir bowled. To Yasir's credit, he didn't change the field. The mid-on is still up. The invitation is still there for Sudesh.
And he's gone 8 in 2 balls.
Yeah, that's the risk you run with the leg spinner. There's always a possibility of that drag down, and it was a real long hop. I think Sudesh will be disappointed that he hit it for 4 and not for 6.
So this over's gone for 9, couple of fours and a single. Final ball. That one keeps a tad low. So 6th over comes to a close. It's 43 for 1. So Sachin Mailavarapu, the leg spinner, comes in here with 43 for 1, still requiring 14.6 and over. Big ask here, Shaw Faisal.
It always is. Anything in excess of 200 in a T20 game, no matter how favorable the conditions are. Sachin is a very experienced bowler.
Yeah, he's been part of the New Jersey Stallions for the last 3 years. Oh, swung away. That's a good strike from Sudini. And he's gone upstairs. He's picked up 6. That's a lovely strike from a ball going down the leg side from Nitish Sudini. And he's picked up 6. So that brings up the 50 here for the Atlanta Force. Ball down the wrong line from Mailavarapu. And given the treatment here from Nitish Sudini, so he picks up a 6. He goes quickly up to 18. And that brings up the 50 in quick time for the Atlanta Force. They're chasing a big target, but it certainly doesn't diminish the quality of batting that we've seen so far from Romario King and now Nitish Sudini. So a couple of good comeback deliveries here from Sachin Mailavarapu. Being able to come back, struck for 6, and he has done well to keep a couple of dot balls in play here. Still a very tall asking rate as they look to come back for a couple of runs. They'll settle for 1. And that'll bring Romario King onto strike. 8 in this over so far from Sachin Mailavarapu. And here is the final ball of this over. Flicked away. That's a good looking shot from King. Will pick up runs here. Jonathan Carter gets onto the ball. And so that will complete the 7th over. So 7 gone. It's 52 for 1. So Yasser Mohammed will continue, 52 for 1. And Brian and Shaw Faisal, I made the point, 15 runs to win, it might be tough, 196 to win from 77 ball, but that doesn't devalue the quality of cricket still left in this game.
Not at all. Because, like we just said, the conditions are such for batting and quick scoring that you need to get on a roll, get on a partnership. They've only lost just 1 wicket. Slight confusion there. There was a little hesitation from the non-striker, and there is a chance that they will pick up an overthrow. Throw's been firing from left, right and centre, but 2 runs the end result. Yeah, like conditions are such that the innings can change really quickly, the momentum. You just need 1 big over to get the batters free, and they just can go big from there. Yasir one landed correctly. He's really got great bounce off this wicket. Just the 1 long hop, but generally his control has been pretty good.
Yeah, Shaw Faisal, we've seen these wrist spinners. Oh, top edged. Myla Varapu gets a hand, it bounces out and rolls away for 4. So a bit of help from the fielder, but that ball was always going to threaten the third area, and it's gone away for 4. So in the end, productive shot.
Not where he intended it to go. In fact, he wanted to hit it in complete opposite direction towards the mid-wicket. And Sachin, once that ball beats you here, this outfield is really quick, and it's pretty short down towards third too. That's what I was talking about. The conditions are such that the game can change very quickly.
And Shaw Faisal on that short side, would you say about 60, 65?
I would say 60, Lenny.
Thought so.
60, and the bowlers who have very little protection anyway.
So ball worked into the onside. Good looking shot here from Romario King. Looking for 2. It's not there. And so the 8th over comes to a close. It's 59 for 1. So Sachin Mailavarapu will continue. The left arm spinner has served the Stallions pretty well. And that's the Stallions team. Shaw Faisal with the likes of Jesse Singh and Raymond Ramratan. They've done well at the minor league level. And you look
conditions though, Lenny.
And you look what has happened here. Shaw Faisal, he's come in with a couple of teammates of his from minor league, the likes of Stephen Wigg, who's part of this squad.
Yeah, but I did some of the games for that conference, that division. Yeah, I did some games from that division, and they were difficult conditions there for batting. It was turning all over the place. The bounce wasn't even. It did really put a test to the batting side, and even low totals were defended.
So we've seen a couple of good balls in this over from Sachin Mailavarapu, quality spinner. Peels off the outside edge. Nomi Iftikhar does well to recover, but they're gonna scamper through for 1. And so we come down to 188 to win, 69 balls remaining, asking 16.3 Shaw Faisal. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, something's got to give here. That momentum that we've been talking about, it needs to happen right here, right now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Punched into the offside. We saw a couple of big 70s from 2 batters. Rajdeep Darbar with 100 already in the series, and Bhaskar Yadram. I was on com with Ryan, and I'd made a bold prediction that wait until Basca
then its inaugural season when they came out here for the playoffs at the Atlanta Cricket Field, and we had three of the most competitive games: a one-run win, a tie, and another very, very thrilling contest that decided the fate of Atlanta Fire. On that occasion, they were playing for the Empire State Titans, which went through to the next round from those three thrilling games. As we see the end of the over here, 9 gone, 59 for 1. No, that's fine. I've got to.
So welcome back, 61 for 1.
Okay, take your time. No rush.
Yasir Mohammed continues.
So what's the required run rate now, Lenny? Our
17
commentator,
something.
come statsman, come scorer, come producer, come director.
Oh, that's a lovely shot from Nitesh Sodini. He brings out the switch hit, and that has gone away for 4.
Yeah, more of this is needed. Yasir would feel hard done by because it was a good line, good length, but he decided really early, Sudesh, that he's going to switch it. There is obviously a gap there. Found it to perfection. But then these dots are not required. When you're chasing 17 and over, you have to go bang bang. And they need an over of 20 or 25 runs really to bring down that equation to 14, 15 real quick. And then do not stop from there.
So we saw 1 wicket from Stephen Wigg, the left arm seamer, and we made mention of some of the players from the Stallions. Of course, Yasir Mohammed comes out of the Cavaliers, edged, and is going to run away towards a very fast outfield area. And once it hits the road, Shaw Faisal, it continues running. That's 4 runs.
Yeah, this is a very, very fast scoring field here. I mean, the outfield is quick, it's cut short, and the boundary and that side is, like we just mentioned, probably 60 yards, not even 60 meters.
So ball steered into the offside. Stephen Wigg is there. And we've seen some dominating performance from the likes of the Kingsmen brand. Couple of teams for them here. And we understand Shaw Faisal, they've made light work of some of the teams as this one is defended into the offside. So 10 gone is 67 for 1. So Milo Varapul will continue. They're batting a 67 for 1. We've seen a partnership here of 38 between the pair out in the middle. Oh, in the air, well away from any of the fielder. Romario King picks up another run, so things are on the way here. We are seeing over number 11 in progress. There's still a long way to go. We've seen oh, big strike. This is a lovely shot from Nitish Sudini. And this has gone upstairs. Good looking shot from the young man. Take a look at this one. Ball pitched up in the arc. A nice flow of the bat, just extending the left leg out of the way. And that's a lovely strike from Nitish Sudini. So he picks up another boundary. We've seen a couple of sixes from him. And that's the teams and the crowd and the jerseys on display, and for you to purchase them. And you want to walk away with some bit of memory of this 2023 Atlanta Open. So Romario King comes back into strike. He has batted extremely well. He's up to 32. And the pair out in the middle has posted some 46-run partnership so far. So a bit of a leading edge into the offside. And so Romario King picks up another run. We've seen an over that's gone for 9 so far. And Myla Varapu, who comes out of the Stallions outfit in New Jersey. $172 to win. Oh, that's a shot from Nitish Sudini. And that has gone a long way. It's gone all the way of the final ball of this over. And it takes a score at the end of 11 to 82 for 1. Take a look at this one. Nitish Sudini. Bang! Into the onside. Wonderful follow through. And that has gone by several yards into the other playing field. That's a big strike from Sudini. And that has gone for a maximum. 11 gone, 82 for 1.
Atlanta Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire. One of the favorites.
Man, indeed, but that one is smack.
Well, this one is good. The into the onside, a slow, short ball. We're back with the cricket. A couple of runs here off the bat of Romario King as we welcome back Ryan Davis into the box. And Ryan, you ran off to pitch number 4, but that game was quickly over.
Got the opportunity to see King's Men X chase down a total. Oh, they were chasing a total from Atlanta Legends of 122. Colin Monroe opened the batting with Shehan Jehangir, and the two of them, I think they had a doctor's appointment they had to get to because they finished the match in just about 9 overs. It was incredible. James Vince came in and added to it as well, but it was something to behold. I think King's Men are really going to be a player in this tournament as we progress.
Yes, Ryan Davis, and we have seen this tournament. We saw last year the likes of Ravi Bopara, a couple of the English county players making the trip. Martin Guptill was here last year. First time for Colin Monroe. Short, should have hit that ball to the other field, Ryan Davis.
Well, looks like it hit the under edge of the bat. The intent was there, Lenny, but the result was not.
So when you look at some of the players here, Yasser Mohammed, one of the quality young leg spinner on the 19 USA player. And getting chances to really prove their mettle. This one is into the onside. A bit of a drag down again, but Ryan Davis, we've seen so many times, right arm leg spinner seems to have some torque and some rotation on the ball, and they do come through a little bit quicker, even if they're short.
Wrist spinners are one of the most valuable assets in this sport. It is so hard for the batter to pick it up coming out of the wrist. Don't forget the bounce. Oof.
Into the onside from Romario King. He's played a good hand. And I made a point with Shaw Faisal. We'll talk about that when we come back. 12 gone. It's 87 for 1.
Atlanta Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire. One of the favorites.
Man, indeed, but that one is smack.
Oh, this one is globbed into the onside. A slow, short ball. So we're back with the cricket. 247 posted by the Masters. And in reply, you can see that on your screen. 12 gone. It's 161 needed from 48 balls. Ryan Davis.
It's what Masters Cricket Club has done so far in this tournament. They've set these mammoth totals, and then the batsmen that come in for the second innings, Lenny, they have such a tall task. It takes them out of their game. They have to do something different that they're not used to, and then the result goes the way of Masters Cricket Club in the second innings.
Yes, Ryan, you're right on that. And many times, if you score over in excess of 200 runs, it's hard to beat in T20 cricket. You've seen all the stats, and the result will tell you that once you score 200 in a T20 game, even at the international level, it's so hard to beat unless you really give it away. Jonathan Carter comes into the attack. And advancing down is Romario King. This youngster here, Romario King, has impressed me, Ryan Davis.
And Lenny, I'm going to build off of what you just said. The fact that Romario Carter is coming down the track, Romario King is coming down the track to meet Carter, trying to make things happen. It shows his attitude, his willingness to try and make something happen for the team.
Swung away in the vacant area. Slower ball from Jonathan Carter. And quickly picks it up is Romario King. That's 4 runs.
Well, he saw that slow ball last week, Lenny. He saw it come out of the bowler's hands, got down onto one knee, and the sweep was elegant. But it shows the attitude of Carter, the bravery of Carter. You can't teach that in cricket. He came down the track the ball before, got down on one knee, picked it up, and look at the technique. Just got his wrist through it, picked up the boundary.
So we've seen an innings from the Masters. Probably the first 8 over was quite brutal. And Ryan Davis, we saw the last 4 was also pretty hectic. And so essentially, Masters have dominated about 13 strong overs of this game, piling on 247.
They did. But we also saw a glimpse from the Atlanta force with was it Pandev? The bowler, excellent wrist spinner.
So looking for a couple of runs. Bhaskar Yadram gets onto the ball. And 2 more runs here for Romario King. If he gets to a 50, it'll be a well-played half century. Good talent in this young man. Always was going to be tough chasing 247 without an explosive start. They never got that.
Going back to what we talked about with the excess of 200 after this delivery. That was quick. That came onto him in a hurry. Great short delivery by Carter. But we talked about the mammoth total. Understanding human beings. You now understand when you take your guard in the second innings, you have to do something special just to stay into the match, which in itself could be a problem.
So Carter testing the deck, and we'll talk about these tracks. Ryan Davis, I'm impressed. So 13 gone, it's 93 for 1. So you're watching the 2023 Atlanta Open. Atlanta Force, they take on Masters. Masters piling on 247. And in reply, it's 93 for 1. We've seen a good knock from Romario King. Nitish Sodini has supported well.
You know, with both of these two teams probably going to go through into the second round, this innings that you're seeing by Romario King, Lenny, so important. May not come to fruition today with a victory against this Masters Cricket Club. That's irrelevant. They get into the second round. This innings under Romario King's belt, it propels him into the second round for another big innings when it is a knockout scenario.
So still a long way to go, and Ryan Davis, they may not win this match, but still a chance for some of the young players to really get a knock in.
Valuable. You can practice for 6 days in the nets. 1 hour out in the middle equals that. That's how important this time right now is out in the middle.
So a bit of hold up here, might be umpire checking on. Wonder why.
Just want to talk about the young leg spinner. We want to talk about USA cricket. You know, so often we see excellent players coming in, leaving the USA, playing their trade. What about the youngsters from the country of USA? The more young talent we see out on the field, the more the game is going to rise. And that means the product gets better. That means the product outside the field gets better. The broadcast, the whole marketing. So it becomes a snowball effect, as you would say, as the young talent begins to take their mark or take their part of the game on the field in USA cricket. And it's so important to nourish that and to make that happen, because then it spreads into all parts of the game.
So ball taken on the pad. Yes, Ryan Davis, you're so right on that. We've seen some young talent, especially in this game. We made a point. The Atlanta Force is full of young players. Romario King. We saw Akil Posa, and we've seen some good batters so far. Nitish Sodini looks the part. And here's another young player, good leg spinner here. Well, he comes down the track, gets the bottom of the bat, and comes down to equation. 153 needed from 39.
Well, it didn't work out there, Lenny, but anytime you play a spinner, you have to try to use your feet to get to the pitch of the ball. He did that, hit the bottom part of the bat, but you want to see that out of a batter when they're playing, when playing.
So Mohit Puri is the leg spinner. And we saw a couple of times in this innings, this man, well, he's off strike now. Nitish Sodini has landed some telling blows that ended up on the other side of this playing facility.
Oh, I heard them, like 3 fields down. I heard the cracks of the bat.
Oh,
wow.
That's a big shot from Romario King. This could bring up his 50. In fact, yes, it does. And so exact 50 for Romario King. And it comes in fine style.
Well, I hope everyone has some time, because that ball ended up, yep, they found the ball, thankfully. But Romario King, that just about puts the icing on the cake on an incredible innings. We talked about the mammoth total they're chasing, but this man has come in and did the business. The ball was pitched up. He got to the pitch of the ball. It's so important. And look at the technique, putting the bat through the ball, allowing it to go to use the technique to get the ball over the fence.
So a couple of milestones achieved in that big strike. 50 to Romario King. The 100 would have come up. And so 14 gone. They're batting at 103 for 1.
Now, when it comes to the
So the cricket continues. Jonathan Carter Oh, bowled him. So that's the end of Romario King. An even 50, and Ryan Davis, Jonathan Carter on the stumps and strikes the stumps.
Stump to stump bowling, they call that. Can't argue that in the tough parts of T20. I understand the area of this match, but Jonathan Carter sticking to his job. But you have to start thinking of Romario King, where his mind was. He just put up an emphatic 50 with a 6 over mid-on. Wanted to continue that sort of scoring, that free-flowing cricket, but Jonathan Carter would have nothing of it. The corridor of uncertainty just short of a length, and on middle stump, usually top of off, but this one is on middle stump. And Jonathan Carter, excellent bowling. Any mistake by the batter, and he's back in the pavilion.
So 74-run partnership comes to an end, but you've got to applaud the effort. We made the point, scoring 14, 15 runs and over was always going to be tough. This is not a pushover Masters team. They bat well, they bowl well, but the youngsters have done well. So new man in. Sudini is still on 43. He has batted well. He has supported Romario King pretty well. But up comes Jonathan Carter, who has played at the highest level, and he's taken out one. Ends that big partnership of 78. And number 23 comes to the middle, Aryan Tomala.
Lenny, we look at Jonathan Carter, who is a two-way player, batter, bowler. I want to go back in time, Lenny, and test your knowledge and your experience in the game.
Yeah, had he hit that, he would have been walking back to the shade. But in the end, a single.
Not really test, but I would like to get your opinion on cricketers in the past. The T20 game was not around forever, but we saw some incredible two-way players in the past that didn't get the opportunity to play T20 cricket. Was that the first attempt of a scoop shot we've just seen?
Well, we've seen the modern game has really propelled batters to come up with shots to play. The ram shots on those scoop, I think, came into being Ryan Davis because no one feels beyond the keeper. So a way to get the ball in open spaces, a way to get the ball from orthodox fielding positions.
Yep.
When executed, they're wonderful to watch, but very risky, you know that.
Absolutely, come with a price.
Oh, that's hammered into the long on area, and that has gone for another maximum.
Well, Carter was pitching the ball up the last couple of deliveries. That's how he got his wicket against Romario King. This one, he banged it in just a little too short, and it held up beautifully.
So good strike from Sudini. Take a look at this one, short. He waited on the bounce.
It's keeping his shape, Lenny. He never lost his shape. He stayed in line with the ball, didn't pull his body too square. He kept in line. He kept side on for as long as he could, allowing the middle of the bat to get onto the ball.
So Carter's gone for some... Oh, bowled him. So Jonathan Carter with a couple of strikes in this over has taken out Nitesh Sudini. A time when the young man was beginning to really look in explosive fashion. So another wicket falls. It's 100. It's 3 down.
Well, an incredible 50 for Shahidi. 55 after that boundary. But those who laugh best, as they say. And Jonathan Carter, again, stump to stump bowling. Put the pressure on the batter. Any mistake and you're back in the pavilion. Corridor of uncertainty, middle and off. Batter made the mistake, back in the pavilion.
So 116 for 3. New man coming out. And yes, Brian, we can. Yes, Ryan, we can continue.
I'm going to throw a name out there that I think would have excelled in T20 cricket. Then you can throw one out there. I'm going to start off with the all-rounders in the past. I'm going to go Ian Botham.
Yeah, good one. Ian Botham would have made such a wonderful. Well, he has always been one of the quality players. Good all-rounder, will probably give you good 4 in T20 cricket.
Yes.
And one of the things with Ian Botham, could bat anywhere in the order. He would actually, when you look at Ben Stokes is the modern Ian Botham.
Absolutely agree.
So Jonathan Carter looking for more. This one into the onside.
I think Ben Stokes is a better batter, but Ian Botham was a better bowler than Ben Stokes. But I think they even each other off, and I think your comparison is spot on.
So Chad Hamilton, I think, comes to the middle. Yep, the captain. And so that completes a very successful over from Jonathan Carter. A couple of strikes in that over. And so 15 gone, it's 116 for 3. So 15 gone, it's 116 for 3, 132 still remaining as Mohit Puri will continue. And Ryan Davis, I'm going to mention a name that is quite relevant to this Atlanta Open, a man who's been around and still plays cricket here. Ricardo Powell, it peels off the edge, runs up towards third. Myla Varapu does well, they come back for a couple of runs. Ricardo Powell.
There's a rumor going around that he can play T20 cricket pretty well. So I would say, I think you're spot on, Eddie, that Ricardo Powell excels in this format of the game. All right, I'm gonna dig a little deeper again here and think of another cricketer never got a chance to play T20 cricket. Batter, decent enough bowler.
So this one is struck into the long off area.
It's going to sound obvious, but I'm going to explain a little bit more. Sir Vivian Alexander Richards, and the reason I say that, we know his batting prowess. He can take the ball outside of off, hit it over mid-wicket regularly. But his bowling, he has over 100 test wickets. He was no slouch. He can come in and give you 4 overs, tidy 4 overs, if you see my point.
Yeah, Viv Richards. And those and his off-spin bowling came at a time in which the West Indies always hunted with a 4-prong pace attack. Sometimes hardly time for spinners to really get a mark in those games. But Viv Richards, and I wonder, Ryan, if it was that time when the over rates were becoming an issue, and then Viv Richards had to come in and bowl some overs because we had Marshall Garner,
Holding, Walsh,
and everybody else, they used to run from far. And I wonder if Viv Richards had taken up more bowling than necessary because of that. This one is struck and struck well, Goranshu Sharma, or it might have been Suprit Madan, but irrespective of who, they take a good catch. Goranshu Sharma it is. And Chad Hamilton falls early. So another wicket goes down. It's 121 for 4.
Remember this, the team that makes the least mistakes win. We look at that catch, he comes around the boundary. How many times have you seen it? The fielders get across, they get there, and they drop it. He takes the catch, don't just shrug his shoulders, makes no mistake, and then the team continues with momentum. The expectation now for the rest of the fielders is when you get the opportunity, you have to hold on to it.
So another wicket goes down, Masters on top. And you get the feeling that Masters could very well end up to be top of the table in Group A. We've got a very big game coming up next on this pitch here. We'll confirm that as new batter comes to the middle. And Mohit Puri has picked up another one. So they're batting here, the Atlanta Force. They're batting at 121 for 4. So Aaron Chenchu comes to the middle. And I've seen Aaron Chenchu, Ryan Davis this past week in Houston, Texas, and he's a very attacking player.
Well, boy, does he have to be attacking right now. A lot of runs to catch up to.
30 runs and over.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, lovely. You can see the wrists. A wristy player, and something we haven't seen much of. We see so many power players in the modern game, and now because each format has been shortened, that's an obvious reason why. And we'll get back to that discussion in just a second.
So we're back with the cricket, 122 for 4. Jonathan Carter continues. Ball in the region of Yasser Mohammed. Can't save a single. And Ryan Davis, 2 for 20 from Jonathan Carter. He's really come up with a couple of good wickets.
Yes, at the right time. And don't get bogged down on this scenario. Yes, Masters Cricket Club are well on their way. But what about in the next round? What does Carter give you? And you're getting a good insight now of what he can give you in the knockout stage. So all these overs are so important when it comes to momentum.
Big strike from Chad Hamilton. And that has gone straight. It's gone over the black side screen. And that has gone for a massive strike from Chad Hamilton. Is it?
Well, I tell you what, Carter, when he bowls just short of a length, is a problem. But when he pitches it up, Lenny, he gets into that corridor, that wheelhouse, and Hamilton makes no mistake, just lifting it over. Technique, 100, power, 0.
So it's 123 for 4. They're still way behind, but that doesn't stop them from playing some quality cricket here. He's driving well. Has he found the gap? Yes, he has. So that has gone away for another boundary. And it comes off the strong left-hander. That's a powerful shot that has gone away for 4.
Well, confidence will get you places in any sport, cricket, more often than not. So after a great hit back overhead, now he starts to dictate.
So he goes big again. Can't score this time. It's 133 for 4.
Want to talk about little Aaron Chenchu. I love his technique, how wristy he is, how busy he is out in the crease. I'm afraid that the Chenchus of the world may get discarded because the game requires so much power, Lenny, and that's a concern.
Pulled away. Well, in fact, gets a bit of a leading edge and goes into the offside. So a little bit of a victory there for Jonathan Carter. Still has a medium pacer, probably on the quicker side of regular medium pace, Ryan Davis, but he has really tested the deck, and we've seen when he has hit the ball down short, the batters have found it a little bit challenging. Into the offside.
Well, that delivery he just bowled right there is where he should live. The corridor of uncertainty, batter not going backwards, not coming forward. In the end, a one bounce to deep cover, but it was in the air. It was not a certain shot. It was a unconfident shot, and that's where Jonathan Carter needs to live.
So 134 on the board. They need 114 from 3 overs. Ryan Davis is going to be tough, but
I think they have them right where they want them, Lenny.
But just coming back to Aaron Chenchu, I saw him this week. He was with the Atlanta Lightning, one of the minor league team, went up to playoff in the Houston area, and he was very attacking. He batted at the top of the order, I guess, licensed to play shots because it's in the power plays. But I see him differently than what I saw him here today. You see some wrist in him. I saw power in him just about 4 or 5 days ago. Ball cut into the offside, and play has resumed here. So
I think an opportunity for him to bat further up the order may be the remedy. An opportunity to face the new ball in the power play to find the gaps.
So power shot from Chad Hamilton, and this has gone a long way. This man can bat. This man can hit the ball, and he finds over the ropes with some bit of ease. Chad Hamilton.
Well, he's picking the ball up early, and it's coming off right off the middle of the bat. Slower delivery. He kept his hands behind the ball, then played through it. Didn't get caught with the lack of speed.
So into the offside, can't score this time. But we've seen a very good knock here from a couple of the batters. Romario King, he got a 50. And now Chad Hamilton, he's really batted well for 20 runs. And now we get a chance to see a little bit of Aaron Chenchu, but I made the point that I've seen him just a few days ago. And he was very attacking for a small man, can really hit the ball. And we've seen a little bit of contrast today in him being a risky player, but we come to the point with 14 balls remaining, still 100 to win. They may not win this, they will not. But a chance for them to really get some shots in.
Didn't get a chance to see too much of his technique there, but I'm gonna bridge this conversation with Chenchu's type of batting. Will there be a time, as T20 cricket and cricket takes off in America, will there be a time that we see a longer format?
So struck well from Chad Hamilton, and he picks up another maximum. This is good striking from Chad Hamilton.
Well, when you have this sort of confidence and you're picking up the ball so early, there's very little margin of error for the bowlers. The left-arm spinner just straying to middle and off. Can't say it was a bad delivery, just well struck by Hamilton. And he is in full flow. To our enjoyment, we get to see it firsthand. Do you think there will be a place in cricket in this country for a longer format, a 35 over, a 40 over match?
It's going to be tough, Ryan Davis. I am thinking the opposite. T20 cricket is ready for America.
Right.
And I think the best chance of cricket really becoming more popular than it is. I think it is popular now.
Yes.
But a chance for T20 to really explode to the borders and to the boundaries that T20 cricket can. I am personally, ask me, I'm not a big fan of the longer stuff.
Okay.
But you never know. I personally love the T20 format. Into the hands of Jonathan Carter. Simple catch for him. And that's the end of our boy Aaron Chenchu.
Well, Chachu trying to get a move on, and you talked about that aggression, Lenny, in the innings before that you saw him. This one pitched up right onto the toes, so Chenchu, being a smaller man, will really have to middle this one. Full delivery, tried to just lift it over mid-on, didn't get all of it. And Carter making no mistake, just like this Masters Cricket Club has shown out in the field. They make very few mistakes.
Yes, Ryan Davis, as the new man comes to the middle, and I say that coming back to our discussion, 50 or 20, which one?
It doesn't have to be 50, maybe a 35, 40 over game where it's
midway.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's lengthened.
Yeah, probably want to compete with the American culture of watching short version sports. Number 10 comes to the middle. Who is he? This Rishi Pandey. And I'm surprised that Rishi Pandey is batting so late, because when he plays for some other franchises, he bats middle. And I don't think today is regarded as middle when you're chasing 247. But he comes in here at number 7. That's low.
I think understanding the total that was in front of them, they did something that was not usual to them.
So ball pulled away, fine leg, and it will run away for 4.
And doing something that you're not used to is exactly what we talked about with this Masters Cricket Club, having teams adjust or contort their style of play to try to fit Masters Cricket Club style of play, and that gets you into trouble.
So the 150 comes up here for the Atlanta Force. So much to play for still, Ryan Davis. When you consider your net run rate gets affected by not scoring enough, this may be a good chance for the Atlanta Force to really up that into the onside.
Yeah, make no mistake, this is no deliveries here are wasted for the batters or the bowlers. And we're looking at Stephen Wigg, the left-arm seamer. I mean, the fact that he can find his line and length right now, this is a form of practice, and I hate to say that way, but there's no way you're going to get used to bowling a tight line and length than out in the middle, which is exactly what he's doing now. A game scenario, and the batters as well.
So Hamilton comes back into strike. We saw in the last over, couple of boundaries in the last over. And we come down to the last 8 balls. Stephen Wigg, left arm seamer. Oh, that's a good delivery. Not much you can do with a ball like that.
You don't need a bat, you need a shovel to play a Yorker like that. And that's exactly what Chad Hamilton borrowed for a second. Had to dig that one right out.
So you look at Stephen Wigg, Ryan Davis. A couple of years ago, he was very close at the U.S. setup at the international level. He was invited to be part of their training squad. We saw in 2020, it might have been 2021, he had a very excellent minor league season. Not full enough, but they'll get a single down towards the long on and brings Rishi Pandey. In fact, the over completes. So when play resumes, it will be the strike. Chad Hamilton will be on strike. So 19 gone, it's 154 for 5. So Mailavarapu will bowl the final over. And it's not final here for Chad Hamilton. And that goes sailing over the offside. That's gone for 6.
Well, he's not finished yet. He still wants to leave his mark. 34 off of 15. I know we have helpers trying to find this ball. Over pitch, down the track he comes. And Chad Hamilton, in this sort of mood, Lenny, you're more better off just trying to maybe hide the ball in his pads and have him try to score through mid-wicket. But there's not much protection in mid-wicket for the left-arm spinner.
Well, the good thing is that Sachin Mailavarapu has 88 runs to play with Ryan Davis with 5 balls remaining. So it's going to be tough, almost impossible. But a chance for Hamilton probably to bring off a half century. He's 34 now. He needs 16 in 5 balls. Can he get to that milestone of crossing the half-century mark? Mailavarapu, he's come out of Stallions. He's a quality leg spinner. And ball tugged down the ground. No run.
Yeah, I think it's very, very clear on what the mindset is for Chad Hamilton. He wants to try to get this 50. Didn't take the single. Here it comes.
So ball struck well over the mid-wicket area. That's gone for another 6. Not a maximum here for Chad Hamilton. So he goes up to 40. And with 3 balls remaining, can he get 10 in 3 balls? This is quite doable. Take a look at this one off the back foot. He waits for it on the back foot and on the bounce. The bounce very trusted on this pitch. And Ryan, can he get 10 in 3 balls? That's the target for him. Into the onside. He refuses a single.
Lenny, you know what I'm more impressed with? The fact that I bent down there and fielded that ball, didn't pull a hamstring, got the ball back to the fielder without pulling a shoulder cuff. I think that's more impressive than Chad Hamilton's innings at the moment.
So Chad needs 10. 2 balls remaining. Here is Sachin Mailavarapu. He goes into the offside over the head of Yasser Mohammed. Goranshu Sharma runs around. And it may have gone away for 4. So umpire Brian Kane waits for the confirmation, and in fact, it's only 2, Ryan.
Yeah, the batters in the pavilion are saying 4 runs, but the umpire is going to go with the fielders on this one.
So he needs eight for a 50.
I couldn't count to 10 early on in this match, Lenny, so me trying to judge that is no chance.
And this is the final ball. Oh, that's a big shot. He keeps climbing. It's gone straight over the side screen to end the game.
Yet again. So I think going into the second round, 2 teams to keep an eye on. And look at that scorecard at the top. Romario King, what a gallant innings. 51 off of 52. Nichi Sudini, 55 off of 25. Just 28 deliveries rather. And Chad Hamilton, the icing on the cake, 45 off of 20. Not out. Very important, Lenny, not out.
So the bowling card, we'll look at that for Masters. They have ranked up another win. We've seen a couple of wickets from Jonathan Carter, and those 2 wickets came in 1 over. And Stephen Wigg also at the top of the order, 2 for 28. So at the end of it, they win by 70 plus runs. Another emphatic victory for them. And we saw some very good bowling, some all-round bowling. Always was going to be less pressure on a bowling team defending 247. So there you go, match summary. We saw earlier on today Darbar and Bhaskar Yadram getting 75 and 79 respectively.
I know sometimes we can lose perspective as the game wears on, but yes, this entire game was built off the backs of those 2 batters. Darbar, of course, setting the tone early and allowing Yadram to come in and finish off in a canter.
And then in reply, we saw Sodini getting a half century, Romario King getting another half century, and Hamilton Hadi allowed a couple more balls towards the end. I'm pretty sure he would have crossed a half-century marks. Two wickets for Stephen Wigg, 2 wickets for Jonathan Carter. And there we go, folks. Thanks for tuning in on this one. With the news, Masters have gone perfect in their group stage. They're top Group A by winning all 3 games, and they win this one by 72 runs. We'll take a short break and resume on this pitch. Samp Army will take on the Atlanta Fire. So a lot more cricket left in this tournament. See you soon.